to do the wing ding taffy apple tango mambo cha cha cha.
First thing they
I'm gonna be
hear.
watching the next episode with redacted and Heffel
So
probably today
hi.
later because we're gonna be doing this.
So
And I can't the reason I'm able to do this is I can't go to the gym because there's a typhoon coming up, so I'm staying home.
oh my
Oh, wow.
gosh.
Stay safe.
Trust me, it's not that bad. We have like typhoons every time, like January, July,
So,
like January to
hi.
February, July, fucking October, November, December.
So
We have
so
so many typhoons.
what?
We have the best typhoons.
Welcome. We have the best typhoons. Look at them go, the strongest. They pick up
Green.
houses.
We love green.
And they pick up houses and they put them behind the border. Very safe for us.
They flatten cities.
They flatten
See,
cities. They
see,
make
Vic,
parking
the
lots
reason why-
easy.
The reason why I know Fallout is because I'm a big fan of Kritosis, and I've been watching his episode reviews, and they're very entertaining.
Ugh.
So yeah, we were live ever since Normie talked about the Wingus. So that was fun.
Oh, so that's how
Oh.
it starts, huh?
Yeah.
Hey, you two.
The Wingus.
So yeah, so I do kind of agree with sort of the title of the video we're going to be watching, because it's like, we need virtuous characters. I'm like, yeah, that's something we don't have enough of. And I don't mean in a way that's like the new Superman does. It's like it's punk rock to like to be this kind of person. It's like, no, it should be natural. It shouldn't be forced out of a bleeding market just because there's so many like doomer like people about like how the human condition is just people being selfish. It was like, no, we need more than that. We need a hero who's like a little bit can be a little bit dark, but it's like ultimately will do the right thing because that's what he wants to do.
I'm glad you mentioned that, Falco, because I think a lot of this, as we see with the thumbnail, was also, well,
Mm-hmm.
we're seeing with like Aragorn and everything. It's
Mhm.
like Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, I think, is really the
Ooh.
thing that I think is sparking a lot of this conversation. Because I've been listening to Red Team Reviews and Preston Jacobs' like podcast coverage of Knight of the Seven Kingdoms. They're pretty big Game of Thrones channels. And
Oh.
they are very surprised at the reception of Knight of the Seven Kingdoms. Like, they like it, but they're just like, man, this is like their big criticism was the lack of marketing, even though even though there has been like advertisements and stuff. But I think a lot of it is just simply people are just in the mood for like heroic characters. Like you're sensing it amongst like a lot of the population and everything. It's just like because when you have like a really well written character who's just like really heroic and will just like do the right thing, it's like apple pie. It's just like it's refreshing.
It's apple pie.
I love Dunk. Have you seen the episodes of Byakuya?
Yeah.
Of Knight of the Seven Kingdoms? Yeah, they're great.
Remember that episode where I think it was episode 2 where Dunk is trying to like lift up Egg, so he just says, "People used to call me stupid," and then he just goes,
Yes!
silent. And Egg just looks at him like, and it's like, and what? It's like, you helping me? Help yourself.
It's
The chemistry between Duck and Egg is really great.
Oh
in
yeah,
the
they,
show.
Yes.
both of those act. I think what made it funnier, there was a behind the scenes where the guy who plays Lionel Baratheon is like talking about how like he had to curse and kind of like, and he was afraid to curse in front of like Egg, but the actor was like, yeah, go for it, and he's like, okay, and then later it immediately cuts to Egg's actor going, I really don't like cursing.
You know, he
yeah.
did in like episode 3, Egg.
Yeah, he's like, he really doesn't like cursing.
I think it's a reason why sort of like I think Fearin has taken off as well as it is.
Oh yeah.
Because
Hell
like
yeah.
it has heroic characters, but also has like a lot of moral complex characters later on. Like the sort of like she wants to have power for her own means, and it's like the priest saves the robbers from like being killed in horrendous ways by beating them up.
Ubel, yeah,
Yeah,
Ubel,
it's
yeah.
like,
Ubel's
wow.
kind of a psychopath.
Yeah, she's a
Yeah.
psychopath, but I don't necessarily hate her as a character though. It's like this.
No, she's fascinating. She's fascinating
Yeah.
as a character.
Mhm.
She's kind of scary actually. She creeps
Oh,
me out.
absolutely.
Well,
But
I
like,
mean,
Well,
I would
you-
make the. Sorry, go ahead.
no, it's fine. You go ahead. You
Go
have a
for it.
point.
Oh, I'm just going to say, I would make the case that Frieren, the vast majority of characters are morally complex. It's just a lot of it
Mhm.
is on significantly smaller scales than, say, a serial killer like Ubel. It is a very low stakes show for the
Mhm.
majority of the run, but you do always have the moral questions of like how Frieren is justified in spending Fern's time with her having a significantly shorter lifespan and
Mhm.
with time
Oh,
taking a
yeah.
significantly stronger toll, or similarly how Fern is warranted in treating Stark, who she does not know well for a good amount of the show, and especially with her having been as sheltered as she is and as underdeveloped interpersonally. Like, it's
Mhm.
very low stakes compared to an Ubel or a Zarya, but a lot of the show is based on moral questions without like an easy answer, even if they're not high stakes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, or
I
also,
guess what I'm trying to say is that like they go out to do heroic acts, and that brings them like being more acceptable to the audience.
What was
Yeah.
that one line that that fuck, what's
Oh my
priest
gosh,
who toured
I'm just
with
kidding.
Freeman called?
Sign.
No, the in her past adventure party, the one with Himmel.
Heiter.
Heiter, yes.
Yeah.
What was that line that Heiter said about Freeman that she's not always the most she's not going to be the most understanding, but she knows her flaw and she like will work twice as hard to make up for it.
Well, there's also the time where it's like she may seem absent-minded, but when she makes a promise, she keeps it. When she
Yes.
had to return to the village where they froze that demon, and it's the Zoltrok, like the creating magic spell. Like, yeah, she may look like she's all over the place, but she's actually like um she just has her own way of doing things.
Yeah.
Now,
Well,
who was that old magic user, the one that was in like the competition, and
Oh
when they were like
yeah,
out of
I like
magic,
him.
we decided to like go started punching people. He started throwing hands. I was like, oh god, I love this man.
Dinkin?
yes.
Anyways, before we go too far into the fear and stuff, that's the reason why I brought it up, because like people want to see heroic acts even done by morally dubious characters.
Yes.
It's almost like the Suicide Squad in a way, where it's like ultimately they do the right thing against orders of being like heads being blown off. It's like, yeah,
Or
that's
For
something we want to
context,
see.
viewers, we're not talking about the David Ayer one.
yeah. Well, it's also just like you look at something like Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, it's like you look at Dunk's like struggles, they're all like very relatable, but like it's about him like maintaining his like honor and his code. Like there's times like in like episode 3 where where he's given an offer that like most other people would have taken, but he doesn't do it because it's against his code and what he believes is a knight. And I'm like, yeah, that's really refreshing. It's like it's something to aspire to be because
Integrity,
like
yeah,
integrity, exactly.
integrity, honor, knights of the knights of a code. Even like
Yeah.
even evil knights have a code of ethics, like one-on-one duels or something like that. Like, anyways, I think
Well,
we should
it's
go.
also in
Yeah.
stark contrast to some of the other knights. It is in stark contrast to a lot of the other knights we see if you know Game of Thrones, or if you know the books of Song of Ice and Fire, where
Mm-hmm.
a lot of
Finish
the
it.
knights can be downright evil, like monsters.
Yes.
Well,
Like
he's never going to
Gregor
finish
Clegane
it,
is
so
technically a knight. Gregor Clegane is technically a knight, and that guy like raped and murdered people. So you're like, oh fuck. So it's
Yeah.
refreshing to see someone like Dunk, where he's very dedicated to the kind of perceived oaths he made as a knight, and this belief of like what it means to be a knight.
Yeah, because it's like even in a world in the Song of Ice and Fire, it's like there's a reason why people looked up to these people to begin with. It's because the system did work for like the peasantry and everything. It's like the King's Guard when you see them in episode 2. It's like, yeah, you can see how those people were looked up to before like the events of Game of Thrones and everything. So it's like even that's why I think like a lot of bleak fantasy should really look into. It's like having a good character in a bad world can serve not only as a bit of contrast, but it
It's
can really highlight like a lot of the good moments in the
it's
bad.
it's I would say that like having a good person in a bleak world is almost a deconstruction of dark fantasy, where it's like you
Yeah.
can deconstruct that and reconstruct it into a more positive world.
Yeah.
So,
There's-
anyways, I'm gonna go on to the video now. So
Yeah,
Well, do
sorry
you
about
mind if
that.
I'm the like
Okay.
slightly dissenting voice as far as how the video goes?
um
So,
hold on, I need to send you a link to it.
oh
In
yes, you do.
Messenger.
Here you go.
Yes.
In Vic.
Have at it.
And Vic as well.
Oh, that's right. They got it, Vic.
Well, I might
Vic.
I might not be joining for a little bit because I'm being sent to the grocery.
Okay. So are you going or
I will mute for now. I'll see if I can come back quick, and then just leave me the link in
you know
the
what? That's a good
install
idea.
chat.
We may be
Yeah,
gone
just
by
leave
the
me the
time
link
you.
in DMs. I will mute for now. I might be gone by the time you guys are finished, but yeah, it is
Okay,
what it is.
that's fine.
You guys have fun. I will mute.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Um. So there you go. I'm gonna still the cogwheel to put it in full screen. Hooray!
All right. I was going to say I do agree with the child of video, and I think a lot of the best media does have virtuous characters. Obviously, Lord of the Rings is in the
Yes.
thumbnail. I don't think
Correct.
anybody
Peak.
here is going to disagree with that.
Peak.
Um, I will say I don't really agree that it's necessary to have like a um more. I
Mhm.
think as far as like children's media goes, there already are plenty of shows with virtuous characters. Even some of the weaker shows, like I don't know, say Paw Patrol, they're still
Yeah.
virtuous.
Troll
And
Hunters is a good example, actually. Yeah.
yeah, and it's so I think as far as children's media goes, that market has already been filled, and it should be. Children should have people to look up to. But I think as
Mm-hmm.
far as like shows for media for more mature audiences, I agree we should have more virtuous characters. Not necessarily because virtuous characters are better, just because we should have more diverse ways of telling it, like more diverse
A story.
styles of
Yeah.
telling stories, rather.
Yes.
And it's absolutely a style that can be done well,
It
Yeah.
it's almost
rather
like
than
there's
like
this
moral qualms.
there's almost like there's false equivalency of like adult means dark or more serious
Yes.
or more like it means complex, and it's like that's not necessarily at all, because you can have like a Jean-Claude Van Damme movie. It's not really that complex. Like there's a good person and then there's a bad person and they're doing terrorism things, and it's like
I mean, if
it's Power Rangers for adults. Like
even a good amount of westerns, you don't have like a good person or a bad person. You have a bad person and a worse person. But
yeah,
we
that
know in the
depends. Yeah.
context of Western,
Mhm.
that's to be expected, so it's a bit easier to get behind the bad person in that case.
Well, yeah. I would say
Mhm.
it's more so like the deconstructionist westerns or like some of the darker westerns. But like, I get your sentiment, Normie, because I think when it comes to like a virtuous character, what they can do, I think the common misconception is that a virtuous character can be quote unquote boring, and I put that in quotes, which is that it feels like you can't really like challenge them. When in
Oh,
turn,
I
I
hate
actually think
that.
of virtue, which
Sorry.
I think in turn, like a virtuous character, you can actually put them in like very tough like scenarios. Like one of
Would
my
you
favorite examples of like a virtuous character is actually Vash the Stampede in Trigun. Because the
yeah.
thing is that
Mm.
the series plays up that he's a pacifist in like a very like comedic fashion and stuff. But like when he's actually put into various serious situations where his pacifism is tested, it really puts a lot of pressure on him. And it's like you can do a lot of great like character studies and just like a fascinating look through into like what he views as like morality and like what
Heartbreak
is he
Ridge,
willing to
man.
do just mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Would you say that Jace from Arcane Season 1 is a virtuous character?
Yes,
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
It's just that he just realizes that like things are a little bit deeper than black and white when it comes to actually doing
Yes.
things. He needs to work within the system to make it a better place. And it's like he is devalue. He is going through his moral thing where it's like I don't want to sacrifice my morals, but like you can't just change things and not have people like not like you. It's like
Mm-hmm.
so
Yeah.
it anyways, let's get on with the video.
Progressive storytelling has many drawbacks, and I would venture to say that most of those drawbacks outweigh any positives that this version of storytelling might have. Most writers and creatives focus on storytelling from a very skin-deep point of view, figuratively and literally. They are more obsessed.
I remember that Cleopatra thing, and that woman is like, I don't care what your history teacher says. Cleopatra was black. It's like, okay.
Wait, so what does she mean? Because she said
Mhm.
skin deep, both figuratively and literally. What
Well,
the hell is literal
What does
about
that mean?
skin
A little-
skin deep?
She's basically talking about
Skin
some
color.
writers, only think about what the character's skin color is. You know.
Oh.
It's sort of like the Batwoman effect, where it's like if there's a white man, a straight white man, they're going to be evil. It's like, yeah. Like,
Which like yeah, I think it's important to reiterate. It's like I don't have an issue with like people wanting like diverse characters in the media. Just write them well. Because
Well-
I think if anything else, you owe it to the people you're trying to represent that you portray them competently
Make
and
them
like
real.
authentic. Yeah.
I'm sorry. It's just that I don't necessarily mind it's always about like that message, as flawed as it is, it could be entertaining, I guess. But it's like there is ways to start out wrong. Like I do believe that. And but like these are very few examples that when you start out wrong, it's like, what if we make her good because she has a skin color? And I'm like, that's starting out wrong. Like
Yes.
you need to do unless your next thing is like we're gonna make a film about how like that's a wrong thing to do. It's like, okay.
Well, yeah.
Hmm.
That's why I stress for creative purposes. It's like if you're doing this for like strictly creative purposes, like I'm usually like on board with it because it's clear that you have an idea and you want to like flesh it out to the best of your abilities.
I really disagree with like media having you start from like a creative purpose rather than like an illustrative purpose. And you have like a Crime and Punishment or even something like Aesop's Fables. Those don't start purely from creative purposes. They are creative stories, but they are absolutely supposed to be
messages.
educational to
Yeah.
a degree. Or like
Okay.
any number of cautionary tales, which can be very strong stories.
That's true.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But like those are but those are also like apolitical, like in their structure. It's just about don't be lazy. Like and stuff like that. Like slow and steady wins the race. These things are just things to learn lessons from.
The Fox and the Bird, right?
What?
Fox and the Hound?
I've
No,
never heard
Fox
of
and the
Fox
Bird. I forgot what that story is called, but it's basically a fox wants like grapes or something like that, and the bird like tricks him. I haven't read that story in a very long
There's
time.
the is it called Fables? Is that the one with the frog and the he hops on top of the head of a turtle and then or the crab and the crab eats him. It's like, why did you eat me?
Oh,
because it's in my nature.
Yeah. I was right. It's Fox and the Grapes. It's an Aesop story.
It got Fables, yeah. All right.
That's the one where the fox pretends to be stuck in the well, right? And then climbs on top
No,
of the
no,
bird.
no.
No?
I have no
It's a different
idea.
one?
That's a Simpsons thing too, but But anyways, yeah, I'm like, yeah.
With hearing from diverse voices than in telling good stories, because both of those things are the same in their minds. That's why movies like Emilia Perez, an extremely progressive tale about a former cartel leader in Mexico who transitioned from male to female, becomes immediately absolved of her numerous sins in the eyes of the creators because she has attained the holy grail of transgenderism. Once the transition process is complete, the reprehensible actions of the character are immediately forgiven and they are free to pursue life on their own terms, having received a blank slate, erasing every wrong they have ever committed.
I've never seen it. Is that true?
Yeah, me neither.
It's
I've never seen it.
from what I've heard, it's true, but like I don't want to like step on creative
It's
toes, you know.
It's funny that this got nominated for an Oscar and then none of us have seen it.
No one. Well, that's the thing. No one saw it. Like, but everybody knows it's awful for some reason.
No, I
you know.
no, I don't want to say that every movie that is not noticed
Of
by
course.
the people is immediately bad. I don't want to say that. It's just
John
that
Carter of Mars, for example. Like
from what I've seen of Emilia Perez, it's just like I don't want to touch that movie. I don't want to touch it.
It's cringe on a mega level, because like the Oscars are really just like, how can we get this to the Oscars? Well, we need to make sure that we have this type of representation in it. That's not always the case, but it is an easy way to get in.
I can't fucking believe that YMS watched that scene of like the from penis to vagina, and he was just like, no, this is the movie goofing around. I know literally none of the other scenes I'm describing fit with this tone, but I'm saying that the film is going to this tone just to have a little bit of fun. They're just having a goofy moment. It's like, you are coping, man. You are fucking coping.
And he's like, "Where's my horse?" It's like.
Likewise, movies like One Battle After Another, featuring the exploits of the French 75, a far-left revolutionary group, will be lauded at the Academy Awards and nominated in as many categories as possible, despite the fact that the movie is about people whose violent activism has led to the death, destruction, and injury of innocent people. The film will be praised for its progressivism and take on current times. The characters in it will...
That is definitely a postmodern thing to do. It's sort of like it needs to reflect the times we live in. Yeah. Huh?
Because he's seen it. If only Vic was here, because he's seen that movie.
Yeah, which I'd be curious. Yeah, I haven't seen it, so I can't say anything.
Vic has shown me some scenes from this movie, and it looks fucking awful.
When I see a pregnant woman fighting like that, I always think of Last of Us 2. Let me go out on the mission. Okay, as soon as she leaves a compound, they get attacked. It's like, wow.
Also, like Also, Across the Spider-Verse did that, and I'm just like,
oh yeah,
it's worse than that because the film goes like, oh Peter, why are you bringing your child into battle? And that's stupid too, but it's being said by the fucking pregnant lady who's also going into battle. It's like, you fucking hypocrite.
I just
look at a mirror.
I just don't get why they think this is the Chad Yes thing to do. It's like, no, it's really not. You're kind of an evil person for of doing that.
From the scenes Vic showed me, that pregnant lady is fucking evil because she's literally like, oh, my husband, he thinks he has so much power over me, when all her husband is doing is like, hey, can we work together to take care of our baby? And she's like, you're fucking asserting your dominance over me. It's like, no, you fucking bint.
Why does that remind me of that show about the women lawyers who start their own law firm and they just hate their husbands for no reason? Yeah.
Oh, what's it called? All is fair.
All is fair, yeah. And it's like, dude, all the guys are doing is just living their lives and having money. How dare they? It's like, so yeah, this is definitely like a I'm not saying all postmodern, but it's definitely a catch-all term to mean like the way it's like we have to capture the times we live in now. The past needs to be erased because it's filled with injustice. It's like, oh my gosh, Just stop, please.
Yeah, like it'd be one thing if like the stuff was like well written, because like I always want to put that caveat, but it's just like subjectively, I've just grown pretty tired of postmodern stuff.
It does have this way of like making it. It's sort of like it adds flavor. It adds this nasty flavor over like a progressive topics when it comes to movies. And I don't like that. And it's uh
Will be
So I do
viewed
have
through a
two
lens of power.
things.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Firstly, I know nothing about this movie, but just a
Mhm.
description of revolutionaries whose revolutionary acts led to the death of innocents. There are revolutionary acts where innocents did die that
Oh,
are
you're talking about
justifiable. Like
yeah,
the
of
meme
course.
just to point to
No,
Star Wars and be like, "Oh, janitors
I
are on the Death Star." So
I
like,
promise I promise you, Normie, from the scenes I've seen, especially when they actually do enact some when the revolutionaries do enact some of their actions to okay, when the revolutionaries go to like a bank or something, it's just like it honestly makes the lady who was pregnant look even more like a bitch when the movie is trying to say that she's acting strong uh by abandoning her child and getting innocents killed.
Um,
I mean,
what do you mean by innocents killed? I think it's what the it's like if like they get caught in the crossfire because they want to dodge responsibilities, and then with the rebels, it's like they're opting into it. Those people aren't innocent necessarily.
I could take your word for it that that this movie does it fucking terribly. I just think the
Mm-hmm.
argument presented in the video is a pretty poor argument. Like by that standard, you'd have
Mm-hmm.
to say the Revolutionary War wasn't justified, or at least you have to condemn parts of it. But that is something in most revolutions, and arguably something that should be in more movies about revolutions, because that is a reality of it.
Oh yeah.
But
Yeah.
That's what I like
Actually,
that
about
doesn't mean the
Andor.
revolution can't be
Yeah.
justified.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
yeah.
Andor does it fucking fantastically, like the Ferrex
Yep.
riot.
Mm-hmm.
There's also like the like but I don't think I think of what they're getting at is what this person's getting at is to say like having innocents killed for a revolution is in the worst way possible. She definitely has like she's tired of it and she's speaking her mind sort of thing. I think the script needs a little bit work if that's the
Yeah.
case.
Yeah, because like to add to Normie's point, like I think like even though this is a terrible game, I actually give a lot of credit to BioShock Infinite and how they depicted
I'm
the
gonna
rebel
ruin your day.
force, the Vox Populi, because it's like they clearly frame them as like individuals that you shouldn't look up to. It's like
Oh,
because
it
of
gets
just all
worse.
this.
Did you play the
Yeah.
DLC?
No, I haven't.
Oh, guess what? You know the leader of the Vox Populi who kills that child. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, she was told to do that by the twins.
What?
Yeah, she has no independent thought.
Also, she didn't kill the child. I'm pretty sure she was going to kill the child,
Until
but
Elizabeth stopped her. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, yeah.
yep,
But
Booker or
still,
Elizabeth stopped her. Yeah.
Elizabeth stabbed her in the back with the scissors.
Oh my
Oh, yeah.
goodness.
But still, it doesn't say that the Tesla, whatever their names, I forget what their last names were, but like, yeah. I remember playing the DLC and you go back to that place and you go through the air vents, and it's like, and you see them talking to her. It's like, you got to do this because it's fate. And I'm like, oh, wow. Way to take away an individual's choice. Like,
Well,
That's
it says
lame.
I actually for the longest time I've hated Bioshock Infinite when I first played it myself,
Mhm.
and I didn't think about it too much until Mueller said something about it, which was their Bioshock Infinite's way of doing the whole racism thing is so safe.
oh, yeah. Yeah.
Due to the fact that they're not willing to say anything too out of line or do anything too out of line. Uh, and keep it as the most generic possible racism possible. I said possible twice. Fuck my life. Do the most generic thing possible, despite the fact that this is supposed to be like a extremely
Racist thing. Yeah.
Confederate and racist organization in Colombia.
You were about to say right wing, weren't you? Weren't you?
No, I wasn't gonna say that.
Fine. Oh, okay. All right.
Power dynamics and how they use their individual autonomy rather than the objective morality or immorality of their actions. Television shows will link the morality of a character to his or her skin color, economic standing, and sob story. Most of these characters
God,
will
that's
be
so
driven-
fucking stupid. I hate
story?
that every single. I hate that every single fucking time it happens. Like it happened. It happened in Birds of Prey. It happened in Ironheart. It happens in so many fucking things.
What?
Where like a bunch of trained guards and policemen are about to corner this person, but little did they know they have the power of like some more combative experience than they ever had, and are just willing and are just able to beat them up single-handedly, but by themselves or with like two other people, and completely annihilate the entire group of guards, policemen, army, whatever.
It's
Like I fucking hate when that happens.
Whenever a person with a gun comes closer to the target so we can hit them, it drives me up a wall. It's like,
Oh
Yeah.
god.
That's
Yeah,
that's
that
why I
ha-
love
that-
Andor and how they handled that in like the first episode, because it's like Andor like puts his hands up, he purposely allows the guards to get close, and then he disarms and takes them down.
well,
Like he's actually
Yeah.
being smart.
Yeah, and
to be considerate to be more strictly, like those guys were on a power trip. They were also kind of drunk, and they were kind
Yep.
of like feeling powerful. They're like, hey, you're not going to do nothing. It's 2-on-1.
well,
Yeah.
also they still need to get close in order to
Chickens.
arrest him,
And-
or
or
something like that.
Get his
They were
credits.
trying to get they were trying to get his credits out of his pocket.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And this happens in fucking Violent Night too. This happens in so many things where they think the best way to shoot a person is shoot them while getting really fucking close. It's like, no.
This isn't the shotgun in a video game. Getting closer does not mean, like, getting far away does not mean it's going to do less damage. It's like,
Yeah, it's so fucking irritating, especially in Birds of Prey, because Harley Quinn, all she has is like a baseball bat and shit, and she's able to take on all these police guards in this entire police station, and not one of them thinks, I have a gun, I could just shoot her while she's doing her badassery
Or her
on one of the
flips.
police guards.
yeah. Remember Malignant? That made more sense. Go to the police
remember-
station backwards.
I remember the one that irritated me the most is in John Wick. Like John
yeah.
Wick 4 mainly, when all the guys with guns always get close to him,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like, guys,
Yeah.
every single one of you have a gun, and John Wick's head is like always exposed. You just shoot him.
It's kind of
You know
funny
what's
if these people ever played a video game ever, because whenever I play Deep Rock, and I'm like, these bugs, they can't really shoot you. So it's like you gotta remain far as possible while shooting with your gun if it's long range. And it's like, I should create space between myself. It's yeah.
There's also the fact that the best version of these types of scenes that we have is in Terminator, but that's because the Terminator can't be destroyed by regular bullets.
Well,
And
the thing is,
that's why he
oh yeah,
that's
sorry,
why
go
he's
ahead.
able to that's why he's able to walk through this police station and just mow down these guys is because he's a robot who can't be defeated by normal bullets.
I just also like I remember like when Faith is on Angel and they get up to the roof and like Buffy's doing a cameo. And so it's like they get shot at by a helicopter, and it's like, yeah, they may have enhanced reflexes, but they're still gonna die from bullets. Like
I mean, yeah, it's the same thing like in Buffy when, like, remember she was facing Darla? And,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Darla brings like pistols.
and it's like,
And it's
oh
like-
crap. Like,
It's like an actual intense fight because like Buffy, if she gets hit, like she'll die.
Well, she has like enhanced healing, but it's like, good luck. That's not gonna do much good in the moment.
Yes, exactly. So it's like,
She has superpowers. That's the point, and she still can't take on a police station. Like,
yep.
anyways, so yeah, I think that one other reason why it's using Ironheart is because it is sort of like the good guys, quote unquote, because Ironheart joined them. It's because like she realized they're the bad guys. They start stealing from people, which doesn't make any sense in the first place. And the woman is right. They're downtrodden. Therefore we shouldn't be hating on them. It's like sympathy. You have to earn sympathy. You can't just write they're good people. Like,
well, yeah, I think a lot of it just comes from, hate to say this, like inexperienced writers who it's a very like, I don't know if this is the right phrase, like they think it's very autotelic, where it's they think that because yeah
sorry.
yeah, like they think that like because they're writing their protagonist, that like people will automatically care for them because of the protagonist. It's like, no, it doesn't work that way. Like you have to put in the effort to get people to care and sympathize with the character. And that's not easy. It takes work. But if you do it, you can do it well. It's like, why do you think people liked Tony Stark so much in like the MCU? It's like that opening scene does so much for him as a character, because it's like, oh, you think he's like this stuck-up businessman, but no, he's actually like pretty chill, laid back, like,
He's
fun guy to be with.
Yeah, he's really a party guy. Like,
yes,
at heart, like he's a bit of a jerk and a womanizer, but it's like, so it's like he's still a human being, and that's all you really need, really, is to have him have the cause and effect of what happens to him, and you see what happens to him, and you're like, wow, he didn't really deserve that. It's like, yeah, who knew? And then when you have people who just like they have a different, just because they have different skin color or down in their luck, and they steal things, doesn't mean you're sympathetic. I'm sorry, but that kind of thing just doesn't work.
On a scale of goodness to the audience, and wherever they fall within this paradigm will be how we are supposed to view them. If they are in a low tax bracket, they are seen as sympathetic. If they have a tragic backstory, any preceding actions that they commit cannot be held against them. And if they are from any of the diverse groups that Hollywood consistently panders to, their morality and the morality of their actions is unquestionable. And for the audience who expects a certain level of realism in their stories for things such as accountability, objective truth, and even redemption, they are left wanting because these things will never be taken into consideration for any progressive story.
Oh, fuck that scene. Fuck that scene.
I hate, dude. The
well,
Acolyte.
Listen, you have to pay attention to the words. All right, I'm sorry, but like, did you guys hear what she just said?
What?
That like, oh really?
Yeah, that things like honesty, objective truth, and what was the last one?
Morality.
I don't know how that surpassed me. Yeah, that those wouldn't be upheld in any progressive story, which is obviously an absurd claim.
That's a bit of a
that's a bit of a stretch.
That's a bit of a stretch.
That's a broad generalization that I don't agree with, because they think they're being morally like righteous when it comes to these causes that they're writing for.
Here's a good counterexample to that claim. Into the Spider-Verse. Like, you can make the argument it's a very progressive movie, but it's like it's got a pretty objective truth. It's like, yeah, there's good and evil. It's like Miles needs to stop Kingpin before he destroys all of New York trying to get his family back.
Wait,
like
guys,
the ends don't justify the means. Yeah.
Guys.
Yeah.
Jeff Keighley himself just announced. Jeff Keighley, he just announced Overwatch 2 is dropping the 2, and the game will just be called Overwatch moving forward.
Wait, what?
I saw that on Twitter. I was like, whoa.
Wait, what's happening?
Jeff Keighley announced that Overwatch 2 is dropping the 2, and the game will just be called Overwatch moving forward.
Wait, what? What was the point of having a sequel to Overwatch?
There was no point.
Blizzard, what?
Blizzard, I hate you, Blizzard. I hope you die 1,000
What's the
deaths.
point of shutting down Overwatch? If the
Activision,
sequel
you're
is just
also to
gonna-
blame. Like, Activision, you're the worst company. You're worse than EA.
At least we
Yeah.
know that Counter-Strike 2 isn't going to be called Counter-Strike in the near future.
I can't wait. I can't wait till it's called that Counter-Strike Origins. Like,
I can't wait. I can't wait for The Last of Us 2 to be called The Last of Us.
dude, I hated it when they called it Last of Us Part 1. I'm like, shut up. Shut up. And I'm like, and not only that, they changed it to fit 2. And I'm like, take on it. Look at that giraffe over there. Yeah, look at that zebra. It seems healed. Anyways. Yeah, I don't necessarily like the idea of like I don't think that like it's kind of funny. What is progressive writing? What is that? I don't
See-
understand what that is.
It's
See,
such
like-
a fucking broad term. Like, sorry,
Yeah,
go ahead,
it-
Akira.
This is not set definition for it. It's just what people use to throw,
It's short term.
It's a very nebulous term, and especially
Yeah.
with like culture war crap. It's
It
just
just-
like
yeah,
it's
it's just
thrown like
shorthand.
it's like throwing like spaghetti on the wall, and
This
it's
is
like
Mhm.
yeah.
This is the second time I've seen this with a driven thing to just say these things are bad, and I'm tired of it. So I'm gonna make a video about it. And I'm like, yeah,
Yes.
I understand that. That's why I make videos sometimes. Like the next one coming up. I hate the term media literacy, but the thing is, though, I'm still gonna explain what I mean. Like,
Well, I think it's really like misidentifying the problem as well. Like, you can say that
Mhm.
it promotes poor values. You could say it's pandering, any number of things. But
yes, I agree
Like
with all
it-
those.
Yes.
do we need a? Nobody's going to criticize like Metamorphosis for not having virtuous characters. That's obviously ridiculous, and
Yeah.
it's just it's like you can have things that promote good that don't necessarily follow virtuous characters. Like Cautionary Tales is the obvious one. And yes, you should probably watch some media that
Like-
does promote good as exactly that, a good thing to be and a good thing to follow, and not just, I don't know, like again, your Metamorphosis, whatever,
I have
or
no
your
idea.
Hamlet.
Oh, I was thinking of like Cautionary Tales. I thought about King Midas, the myth of King Midas. It's like
Yeah.
he
it's a
would
good
have become
example.
rich, and he said, "All right, but you're gonna die from it." Like,
Or even like cultural satires, like It's Always Sunny. It's Always Sunny works because we know the characters
Simpsons,
are bad and they are presented
Flintstones.
as bad.
even Flintstones, as
Yes.
far back, was like a satire on like today's world, because it's not today's world, but you know what I mean. It's like the wife being a bother at home, the man just wants to go out with his friends and drink. It's like, this is like normal things that people just want to do. That's why comedy is such a universal thing, because everybody has that person at home they don't like. Everyone has like that buddy they go out with for like drinks and stuff. It's, you know, but it's, anyways, we're going a little bit off topic, but I don't like the broad term sort of thing. It's just
It is
Yeah.
very
you need to be
overly
stronger with
broad.
your words. That's all I'm saying. But
Yes.
like, I understand what you're trying to say. It's just that
it's a-
I shouldn't have to dive into it in order to understand what you mean when you're saying it plainly.
I understand what they mean. I think they're misidentifying the problem. I think they are conflating what the story promotes with what how the
Mhm.
like the protagonist's beliefs and the protagonist's ambitions, which is just obviously ridiculous.
I kind of see it as like the Miss Marvel problem, where it's like it's sort of like the you were always good, you were never wrong, and it just reinforces that, so there's no character growth. It's like,
Well, yeah,
Captain
it's
Marvel.
framing.
Mhm.
It's framing. Yeah,
I would argue you could have flat characters who you could have
Well,
a
I'm not talking
character,
about flat
not a flat
characters,
character
though.
rather.
I'm talking
I
about
would
a character with no character.
Well, I would argue you can absolutely have a protagonist who is right all along, but serves as foils to other characters. Um,
Mhm.
he is characterized beyond it, but I guess an example that come immediately to mind because I just watched it would be Yosuka from, or sorry, Josica, however it's pronounced, from Part 4 of JoJo's.
Oh yeah.
He's the one who gets the least development, but he has very dynamic relationships with all the cast, and he
Mhm.
very actively enables the development of the majority of the cast.
Mhm.
He has flaws, but he
Yes, he does.
beyond his relationship with
Josuke is his name.
Josuke, thank you so much. I don't know how to pronounce it.
It's cool.
But beyond his relationship with
Mhm.
Joseph, there's not much development, and even then, his relationship with Joseph didn't get half the screen time it should have.
Well, because like I mean, it just showed him being awkward with his father because he doesn't know him. It's just he just realized
Mhm.
that like he was born out of wedlock. It's like
But yeah, I think it's absolutely fine for him to be a mostly virtuous character with like small, mischievous, like a mild amount of mischievousness because he's a teenager who doesn't have
Mhm.
much growth because he enables so much growth with the rest of the cast, and
that's true.
he is a very excellent foil for a lot of them, and I think he's a strong character for that,
I would
despite
say
being
he
right
does
all
change,
along.
because he's almost like Kira in the very beginning, but not to that stupid extent. But like he's like I just want to be left alone because I'm just doing my thing, but not of any not out of cruelty or anything like that. He's just like nah, I'm just I love my life right now. But then when something tragic happens to him, he starts to develop like I want to I want to protect the town as if like repairing it from damage that other people do. So it fits the theme of his stand.
I could see that. I'm not sure if he just became more aware of the problem and thus took
Exactly,
more
yeah.
action,
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. When you become
or
more
if it was
aware of it, you want to do
a
something
change in
about it.
values.
So,
Yeah, I don't know
anyways,
if his values really changed throughout the series, but I think he's a perfectly fine character as he
mm-hmm.
is.
I think Part 5 has a more active character. But, anyways, that just shows that, like, you don't have to be really active with a huge cast. But it's like, it's definitely something that, like, people need to bounce off something. When it's like, but with Carol Danvers, you can't really bounce anything off of her because she has no personality other than like I was always right. I'm mean. So it's like, but you'll like me anyways. It's like, ugh.
uh,
It's pretty
Yeah,
flat.
unfortunately, I couldn't say because I haven't seen Miss Marvel
Mhm.
or Captain Marvel. Sorry.
It's fine. Um,
you're
but
not missing much, to be honest.
anyways, is this Logan? I don't know.
There is no accountability because the characters have done nothing
Oh
No,
no,
wrong.
it's
it's
Echo.
No,
There is
Echo.
no
that's
objective
No.
truth because truth now
Echo.
applies individually across the board. And there is no redemption because the past is always erased for these characters, no matter how heinous it is.
Well, that could be considered for poor writing. And then the next
Yeah, it's-
writer is like, I'm not gonna take any of that and just reinvent them again. And
Well,
then they rinse and repeat.
Well, yeah, because redemption stories, I tend to find it's like you have to make it difficult for the character to really like earn redemption. And even then so, it's like depending on the severity of like what they did wrong, like you shouldn't blunt it. Like one of my favorite examples of like a recent redemption stories is like Endeavor from My Hero Academia. Like when we're introduced to Endeavor, like the guy is a literal like child abuser. Like he did horrible things to like Todoroki and like the rest of his family. Like he tore his entire family apart just to surpass All Might to be the number one hero. But when All Might finally steps down and he's in the number one spot, he starts to realize, oh crap, like A, I got this just by default. I didn't even get to beat him. And B, I've done incalculable damage to my family. Like, yeah, I may be seen as like a hero who can save people and I have more saves than All Might, but I'm not that respected by that much by the public and my family hates me. So it's like the wonder of that
Mhm.
series was just putting him through the ringer and actually having him slowly become the person that he was always meant to be, but also not letting go of the fact that he did some really horrible things to his family in general, and that always is going to be a cloud that hangs over him.
I
It's like,
always preferred the when I heard redemption, I'm like Kurama.
yeah, that's a good example.
I just yeah. I don't want to spoil that one, but it's like his redemption doesn't even come up until the next to the final arcs. It's
yeah.
like
Yeah, it's just yeah, but just like on point with the video here, it's like it's all poor writing. It's like there's
Mhm.
nothing wrong with like having like a character doing horrible things. It's just how you portray them, and then
yes.
what do you use that? What does the redemption mean for that character in a meaningful sense? Like what are you trying to achieve by saying that the character can be redeemed? It's like,
Well, if they don't, if someone else, if everyone else just redeems them just because, then that's poor writing, and that shows a lack of. It does show a little bit of lack of morality on the writer's part, because you don't think they deserve to be redeemed through other people. Instead, it's about themselves. It's a projection angle.
yeah, absolutely.
Creates characters that are perpetual victims, even as they get away with taking everything they want. And in light of that, no matter what they say, they will never be able to be trusted because they will always be looking out for themselves and no one else. They are not affected by their choices because that would cause reflection and introspection, which would cast their actions in a new light. This is a level of storytelling that will always be seen as selfish. It will always be small and insignificant and unworthy of being counted as good, much less great.
Oh my gosh, I know what this movie is. Does anyone know what the movie on screen is?
The American Society of Magical
Negroes. I'll say it. Yeah. I'm the host. That's what the title movie is.
It's the title of the movie. But everybody's made a joke about this? But could you imagine going to the theater and the worker that's given the tickets to you is a black guy, and you have to say the title of this movie to him?
Oh, dude, did you ever see?
At that point,
did you hold on? Did you ever see the ER video where it begins that way? It's like, excuse me, I want to see that one movie. What do you mean? What movie would you want? And he's like, that Magical Society one. No, I don't know what you mean. Like, could you say? And then ER's like, don't worry, I got this. Like,
I've seen the meme where it was like, I would like to see the Magical Society of and the black worker is like, go ahead. Say it. Say it.
At that point, you just have to say it with your chest, Say for the whole theater to hear.
Be like,
the Magical Society of what? Sorry, the Harry Potter rerun is next week.
Oh my god!
Wait, is it actually next week?
I really doubt it.
Oh, okay.
What? J.K. Rowling, it's like, man, this movie, huh? So, anyways,
for so many black people in my movie.
So, I forgot what you said. So, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
As selfish. It will always be small and insignificant and unworthy of being counted as good, much less great. Recently, I got around to watching Godzilla -1, a refreshing original story about post-World War II Japan and the monster that rose from the depths of the ocean due to the interference of man. The characters were all wonderful, and the acting was superb. The music was simple but profound, and I love the tribute to the original Godzilla theme music. The acting performances were spectacular as well, and I love the acknowledgement of the cost that war demands from people. Most times, war and conflict are seen as opportunities for glory, chances for the characters to show their skill or best qualities or powers. They are opportunities for control.
I mean, it depends on the story.
I don't necessarily see it as a bad thing, because heroes are made in wars, and and it's like sometimes you need those heroes in wars because it tells them that hey, do you hear about this guy? He took the hill in Gettysburg. Like, oh my gosh, really? Yeah. It's like we have someone on our side who's coming here. It's like, yeah. It's like, oh my gosh. I'm invigorated. It's like, and like, it's not always saying like, I get what she's saying though, that like, proving yourself during war just to prove yourself. It's like, man, that sounds evil. Like, yeah, it kind of does. There are some people like Patton is this way. If you ever saw the movie Patton, or like his theories on war and everything, and he has this self realization about it, and he's like, I know I shouldn't love it, but I do. I love it, and he's like, he loves war, he loves it, and he wants to make a name for himself, but that cost innocent lives, and like, and it showed throughout the movie. It's such a good movie. It's such an excellent movie.
I don't think I've ever seen Patton. I should check that out.
Yes, it's a 3-hour flick, but you know what? George C. Scott,
Oh
legendary.
yeah, George C. Scott, nice. Yeah, I do like him.
He's
a
a
lot.
legendary actor, and he portrays like Patton with like the iron fist of Patton. But man, he's so sympathetic with his warmongering. Like, he's such a charismatic guy. It's like,
You know where I know him from? George C. Scott.
Exorcist
Rescuers Down Under.
Oh, Rescuers Down Under. That was him.
Yeah, he voices McCullough. Yeah, he
Oh
voices
my
the villain in
gosh,
that.
I never knew that.
Yeah,
Oh.
he's awesome in that. Yeah, he's great.
Dude, Rescuers Down Under. Now you're speaking my language. That was my first Rescuers film. Like,
Underrated movie.
it really is. It's a great movie. We should watch that for Froggo watch-alongs. Anyways.
Yeah.
And the demonstration of leadership. But so rarely is the cost of war acknowledged. So rarely do we see the painful realities and suffering the people and
Is this a what is this?
1917.
That's a good
1917?
movie.
Yeah,
That's a
I
good
Yeah, this is
really
1917.
liked 1917.
I am
It's a
reminded
great
of
movie.
a I used to watch Ackman back in the day, and he said like if ever it was a war novelist, and he was talking about how like if ever you see a story where war is being portrayed positively, it's a lie. And it's like, oh, like what he was sort of getting at is like the positive for your side for your war. It's and how you can be heroic through it. It's like, no, that's not what war is. Like, they're telling you sweet little lies. And I
mean,
kind of like that quote.
Well, like you can see the horrors of war even in something like Tolkien with like Lord of the Rings.
Oh,
It's
absolutely.
just like how he channeled that into like his writing. Like, it was like, because he lost friends in the war, like very close
Especially
friends.
French warfare with World War I, all that stuff. Like,
Yeah.
that's terrible.
Well,
Horrific conflict.
I mean, I do think that thing that Ackman says does need a little bit of an asterisk. Like,
Well,
an obvious
Ackman
example
didn't
is
say
Les
it.
Miserables.
I saw it through an Ackman
sorry.
video. It was
Oh yeah.
there was a war novelist who said like I'm not paraphrasing it correctly, but the whole point is that like war's not a positive event. Like
So that I
Mhm.
agree with. Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
it's
Yes.
not just place where it's like you take positives from it. It's sort of like this thing where it's like it's gross. It's it can in fact be like evil sometimes.
Well, I mean, if you look at something like Les Miserables, it's about the June Rebellion prior to the French Revolution, and it does not portray the it does not portray the June Rebellion as like an environment you would want.
No,
The
you wouldn't.
warfare is not in and of itself good. However, the revolutionaries are fighting for good and fighting for the freedom of other people, even if they ultimately aren't successful, given that it is the June Rebellion, and a smaller, a much smaller insurrection
It
prior
is.
to the French Revolution.
Well, just because you're in a revolutionary group doesn't mean necessarily you're a good person or on the right side. Like, you can be well, it's not good is not on the victor. It's just that it's the ways that they're using their like revolution, and stuff like that. with
Well,
at,
I mean,
at least when it comes to stories. Let's just I don't want to, you know, convert to modern things.
well, the idea with Les Miserables isn't they're
Hmm.
all necessarily like the best people ever. Rather,
Sure.
simply that the goal of the June Rebellion and it's serving to uphold the later French Revolution is in and of itself a good thing, even if the method by which they were forced to take is a horrific environment that nobody would want to actually, or rather, nobody should want to live through.
Oh, speaking of, I will say like the one thing I do like about Bioshock Infinite before the DLC was even mentioned is that like they become worse than their oppressors. Like
Yes.
that's kind of the message. It's like they do kind of follow what sort of the French Revolution did. They even mention uh Lisa Lisa Marab by name in that game. So it's like, yeah, it's just that
Yeah,
sometimes you can go too far.
yeah, there were some unfortunate consequences of the French Revolution.
Sure. Let's continue.
characters have to endure.
Robespierre.
And without that cost, well, the stories do not have nearly as much weight. War takes something from the people who fight in it, whether it's their humanity, their health, their sense of compassion, their purpose, or even their sanity. Oftentimes, in fact, it is their sanity that gets utterly destroyed through PTSD and other war-related conditions. The main character in Godzilla Minus One does an excellent job displaying his own PTSD and the grief and guilt he feels for surviving the war, losing his parents.
You know what? I hardly get to talk about it, but I'm gonna I don't know if I should spoil it, but like this always reminds me of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, 2003. Leonardo
Yep.
goes through PTSD and survivor's guilt, and it takes him a whole season to get over it. It's one of the
I'm
most.
sorry.
Mhm. Yeah.
That's just a weird sentence to say.
I
It's just
know.
like you know what Godzilla Minus One reminds me of? Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
it is.
but-
It's apt because it's like if you survive something that like you knew you should have died from in a dramatic way, it can leave you with like a big time survivor's guilt and also like a certain kind of PTSD where it's like you become
Well-
more focused but in a negative sense.
Well, like in the case of like Godzilla Minus One, I think what
Mhm.
works really well is the fact that like the main character, like he was a part of the kamikaze run, and
True.
he bailed. He bailed. He
More than
abandoned it,
once.
which in the case of yeah, and that like combine that with like having a chance to like take out Godzilla when he was like smaller and then failing and then
Mhm.
allowing those people to die. It's like it's guilt compounded upon guilt, especially when like he comes back home and his family is destroyed. It's like what
Oh,
what is he fighting for at this point?
Yeah, it's also before that. Like the other guy who survives sends him like
Mhm.
he's like he sends a messenger after him on the boat, and he's like, "Here's a picture of the
Mhm.
people you killed." It's like,
Yeah.
wow. It's like,
Yeah,
uh,
such a great film.
it
Mhm.
really is.
Parents and the woman he loves during the Godzilla raids. Sometimes he's wrapped in the throes of delusion, not sure if he's survived or not, and questioning his entire reality. He doesn't come back whole, and the presence of Godzilla throughout the film chips away at his mind until the very end of the movie. But it's not his reaction or the cost of war that is the only thing that is missing from stories these days. Not every story contains war and violent conflict, after all. Not every story will feature a giant monster that needs to be defeated or a country on the verge of political upheaval. But every story will contain characters that are faced with choices big and small that define what they do and who they are.
I agree fully with that
Yeah,
because
Yeah.
it's people often forget this, but like during fight scenes, it's also like a clear indicator of their character. It's not just cool, you know. Like if Bat I remember when like in the beginning of Batman Beyond, he's too old, and so like he picks up a gun, and it's like
Yup.
the only way he can survive, and it's like those kind of choices matter because He was about to kill a person just because to save his own skin, and he knew he had to put down the cow. Like,
Yeah, he's hard.
it's really good sort of stuff. Or there are things where it's like where you aim to kill, sort of things, or you don't. Those choices really matter, and like which bones you break, or do you not do defense at all? All these choices matter.
Yeah, one of my favorite examples, like if we're talking superhero stuff, is Into the Spider-Verse with the Leap of Faith. It's
Another
like there's so much
Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah. Well, because it's like, in the case of Miles, it's like it's the idea of him learning to commit and being like, hey, this is something you can't run away from. Like, you're either Spider-Man or you're not. And it's like when he realizes this, especially like during the second act low point and hearing his father's talk and everything, it's like that spark within him. It really makes it like very cathartic when he jumps off that building and he's like, yeah, I'm done doubting myself. I am Spider-Man. It's just like, yeah, good character choices can tell us a lot about who they are, what they value, and what they stand for at the end of the day.
I mean, one of the obvious examples, despite all the fuckery at the start of the movie, is Return of the Jedi, when we have a Luke who's just a lot more graceful with his
self-confident.
a lot more graceful, a lot more confident, and also he like dramatically limits the like range of which he moves his lightsaber, and it's only as much as is necessary, rather than like the wider swings that he was taking in against Vader in the prior movie.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's a great way to just immediately show his growth.
I was thinking of also Batman Beyond. It's like you're pretty strong for a guy who thinks he's Batman. I am Batman. It's like super great.
I really like that show.
Yep. It is sort of like Bruce. It's sort of like a new Bruce Wayne in high school, but it's a really good version of that. Like, Gotham High, eat your heart out.
Yes.
And the movies that are displaying the aftermath of those choices and actions are becoming increasingly smaller.
Oh, that's such a brilliant example to put on screen. Wanda.
Oh, WandaVision. Yeah.
They'll never know.
They'll never know what you sacrifice.
Yeah.
One of the. You guys think that's the stupidest line? I think the stupidest line in that fucking show was, "You're holding an entire town hostage." Oh, I'm not the one with the guns, director.
Oh yeah, that's also that's number one retarded. Yeah.
What the fuck?
And then you have another character.
It's like,
her decision.
Holding a town hostage with supernatural / magic powers, guns. Clearly they're related. Got it.
These are called
you're currently
You're
currently stabbing that old lady. Well, I'm not the one with the gun. That's not relevant.
It's kind of like saying and what were they saying before? Before they came, it's like, please let me die. It's like, oh my gosh.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's later in the show, but still.
I know, but still, it's yeah. Remember, we were watching
Wanda.
This is kind of interesting because we were watching Justice League and Legends, which was like the old superheroes are brought back by the psychic kid, and it's like in this other universe, and it turns out like
the Justice Guild.
He was holding people hostage to get this thing along. It's like. And they acknowledge it, no, being forced in an ice cream truck day after day, that's a nightmare. It's like, yeah. Remember what Screen Crush said? They get to have Halloween.
Really? They said, oh my.
They did party tricks for him. And I'm like, guys, don't say this.
This is going to sound mean to me, but did they actually think before they speak?
No.
When they say that.
Well, yeah, they did. They thought they were right.
Because the meme, do you remember the memeing community with I forget her name, she's digging the grave?
Oh yeah, she's digging her own grave as she talks. It's like, yes.
Yes. That's Screen Crush when you say that. It's
yes, I agree. It's pretty retarded. Well, he's a guy that says like you know, never mind. Let's continue.
Still are the characters who make virtuous choices for the sake of others and not themselves. We are seeing less and less stories that feature unselfish characters, or at the very least, characters that are on a path of redemption and willing to fight, and yes, even die for it. And that's concerning. One of the reasons that certain stories...
Okay, that's interesting to hear. Because, like, I understand if that's a cause that is just, like, that they don't know what they're writing is evil. It's like, well, yeah, they're going to be consistent that they're going to die for that cause. And that is a little bit concerning. But, I don't know if it's like, if there was a cause out there that you wanted to write about that you think like people maybe should die for, is that necessarily a bad thing? Or are we ready for that thought experiment?
Yeah, it's just go for it.
Isn't that like basically most war movies? People fighting for or like dying for what they think is right.
Well,
willing to die, I guess.
We have to put in the context of like current issues, and I think because if there was a current issue that you thought needed more attention, and it's like you would want to write about or something like that, it's not. But like people could die because of that. It's like, well, is that the responsibility of the writer necessarily, or are they telling people to do it? If that's the case, then is it wrong for them to tell people that they should die for their cause? So it's like,
Again,
mm,
I think this video just completely misdiagnoses a problem. Like, she's arguing against a movie that she finds argue for morality she disagrees with, and conflating the theming of the story with just the protagonist's beliefs, which is silly. It also is
well, you would
like,
have to find a self-insert for that to be true, which is there's a lot of those.
I'm glad she is showing Lord of the Rings, because it reminds me of my favorite part from there, where Sauron, where you know, Theoden is like, "You're Sauron. You're currently attacking Minas Tirith." Well, I'm not the one with the cavalry, Theoden.
Well, like, yeah, I'm just glad she showed like Falcon and the Winter Soldier at the very least, because like that to me is like that's my most hated MCU Disney Plus show, by the way. I can't stand, and mostly because it's like you can't, the flag smashers and just the depiction of them. It's like, you got to stop calling them terrorists, and I'm like, they blew up a building and killed people. What are you talking about?
You gotta stop calling them. You gotta stop calling those kind of people.
Everybody references the.
But they were an armband, sir.
Everybody references the building blowing up, but everyone's forgetting the part where Carly and her people wanted a truck full of innocent people to be dropped,
and killed John Walker's friend.
Senators, okay, that's excusable.
So stupid.
It's Tim Walz. Put him over.
I will say,
yeah, Norman.
Oh, sorry, never mind. Please go ahead with Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yeah,
I was going to talk about the reviews.
Yeah, because like that show to me is just, it's like one of the prime examples of just like not understanding like your moral framework. It's like, yes, I understand you wanted to make the flag smashers sympathetic, but you don't make them sympathetic by killing innocent people.
Well, the thing is, though, like they had to make them bad guys, but also make a point. It's like, okay, so how do we do that? Burn innocent people. No, wait. And then no. And then we're gonna kill this guy in the middle of the street, and then we're gonna make this guy have blood on the shield. And it's like, guys, I think you're just really bad at sort of like moral foreshadowing. Like,
yeah, especially when they're super soldiers, which are like effectively weapons, and they killed John Walker's best friend Lamar in like a very brutal fashion to get to him.
You can tell how, like, I think her point on that one is that like the cause that they're fighting for is a bunk one, and it's like, yeah,
Yeah.
it is a bunk one, but like you could still make that sympathetic. Like
Yes.
Thanos had a bunk ideal, but he was still kind of sympathetic. Like
Well, yeah, like you saw it with like his planet being like he saw his planet
Ravaged.
being like wiped out. Yeah.
yeah, it's like
So it's like
look what happened. Like I have firsthand experiences. It's like it's my truth, okay?
it's based.
Anyways, yeah, I think Norman's kind of right on this one. I think there's a fundamental thing you're missing, and that's like define what you're trying to say instead of just saying it.
Yeah. Because
So,
Yeah,
sorry, go ahead, please.
yeah, no. I was
yeah,
you
Bianca.
make the point,
You're-
Army, my bad.
You have more talking
Oh,
time than he does. So
I was just going to say what Falco. I'm just going to say what Falco was saying about how there may be a character who truly believes their cause is just and wouldn't be on the path of redemption, but it'd be hard to say that they are an evil character or an unvirtuous character. That is something very strongly supported by Lord of the Rings, so
Mhm.
it is fitting to say at this moment. Remember the quote by Faramir? It was
Faramir,
the
yeah.
enemy. His sense of duty was no less than yours, I deem.
I wonder what his name is.
Yeah, you wonder what his name is, where he came from, and if he was really evil at heart, what lies or threats led him on this long march from home.
It's
If
like,
he would not rather have stayed there in peace, war will make corpses of us all. Like,
yeah,
this is
yeah,
something strongly supported by
good scene.
Lord of the Rings.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah, one of my
because that's
favorite ones,
what
most likely.
Faramir is thinking, because he knows it's like this war's never going to end, and it's going to make corpses of us all. It's like, yep.
Yeah, I don't blame him.
Especially when you're tasked with taking back Osgiliath all the time. It's like, dude, just like, they got it. It's
like the Lord
Yeah.
of the Rings, are timeless is due in large part to the virtuous, heroic, and self-sacrificing actions of many of its characters. So in this video, I'd like to discuss why virtuous characters stand the test of time no matter when they were written or filmed, and why we as a culture need them
wait.
in our
I disagree.
I'm
Disagree.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I just
5 minutes
realized.
in.
I just realized something. It's just like I would like to talk about the. I now that I'm done talking about what this video is about, it's like you made it through like a quarter of your video
Mm-hmm.
with just the intro. It's 5 minutes of a 14-minute video. There's like 10 minutes left.
It's
Okay.
not that efficient.
Also, like, what
Yeah.
is the
Actually, no,
framing of this?
Actually, no, it's
like,
it's 9 minutes left. Actually,
but also,
Mhm.
what's the framing of this about virtuous characters staying the test of time?
I
Okay, what
know.
about The Stranger? What about Icarus? Or like any Shakespeare tragedy or Metamorphosis? There's so many characters. There's so many stories that don't star like a protagonist who could be reasonably considered virtuous that have stood the test of time and
What-
are great stories.
People don't care about the guy who killed Dracula. Okay? People care about Dracula. It's like
Or like Frankenstein. Who is the
yeah, I know, right?
like a hero of Frankenstein?
He's not necessarily he's more of a tragedy than he is a villain. But he's not virtuous. I'll say that. Like I was talking more like actually opposite of virtuous. Like Dracula.
Well, I believe there's a bunch of stories out there with virtuous characters that have not stood the test of time.
That too. Like let's see, there's like let's see. What's a really rare one? That's like some animated movie. Like, yeah, I guess. Teddy Ruxpin saves the day. There you go. yeah,
I don't think we
that
need
one.
an exact example. It's just like if it's possible
what I
to
mean.
happen.
Yeah, of course,
then,
it's
yeah.
yeah. Well, I'm just saying it's like it has happened because all I have to do is
Yeah.
come up with one example. That's it.
I
You
mean,
know?
you could just point to what about like I guess Rise of Skywalker that didn't stand the next week.
Yeah, I guess you could say
For the wrong reasons.
Ray.
Yeah.
Like Ray. you could say is a virtuous character. I
Absolutely.
don't think
She
she's
absolutely
probably
is. She's just
yeah
not a character.
That's what
yeah,
I
but
mean, right?
she's
About what you
not
were
gonna
saying
stand the test
earlier.
of time.
Yeah,
There's
like
a prop that moved from movie to movie.
she's like, there's a lot of virtuous characters, but the thing is, though, it's like they don't have to change themselves because they were always right. They get themselves out of the situations, and because of that, they don't get any interesting things about themselves. Like there's no personality to bounce off of. Like all these things are like all these properties that do apply to Ray is just the Mary Sue kind of without calling it a Mary Sue, you know.
Movies and media. And the first reason is narrative expansion. Just as the actions of non-virtuous characters have a ripple effect on those around them, the actions of virtuous characters open up a lot of story possibilities. For example,
Okay. So there's a lot of stories about bad guys and they have a ripple effect upon the rest of the world. Like in fact, it can have the opposite effect where it's like for example, Clockwork Orange. It's like it's about this really horrendous person who goes around doing whatever he wants and then he gets arrested and the system changes when he gets out. And it's all about how the system is affecting him, not necessarily the opposite effect. Um, let's see. Where is
Y'all
this?
ever hear of this niche project known as Breaking Bad?
Yeah, there's also like he's not but he,
Niche
but, he,
project.
but he changes the world around him. Yeah,
Yeah, like that's
Niche.
he's a protagonist, but he's not virtuous.
yeah, it's a huge theme in Breaking Bad that the drug trade is harmful, not just to the people who work within it, but
Mhm.
also to those around them, and that is one of the biggest flaws of characters such as say Mike, or even well, Mike being the biggest example where he is naive to just how much damage he is doing to everybody around him, despite having a moral code that he believes is good. He cannot be good working in this environment,
In
on
fact,
top of, being a bit of a
I
murderer.
just got it. Like Sauron, he may not be the protagonist, but like he's the ultimate antagonist. He definitely affects the world around him. It's like
Yeah.
so it's like, wait a minute, I don't have to go that far. It's like so like I get it that you want the point of view character to be the virtuous in order to expand. And I'm like, okay, that sounds right on paper, but that's limiting. You know, that is limiting to other writers who want to use other brushes in order to paint their stories with. Man,
Also, isn't
that was artsy
story
fartsy. I
arguing
apologize.
for isn't story arguing for virtues
Mm-hmm.
any more complex than a story that isn't arguing for virtues?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I already brought up Metamorphosis 4 or 5 times.
I don't even know
It's
what
not
that is.
arguing for um extremely it's one about the guy who gets turned into a bug.
Oh,
And
it's like The Fly.
I mean,
Neat.
The Fly.
yeah, you've almost certainly read it in English class, and there's a lot to be said about like the limits of human sympathy and how far we can apply it, and of mental decline and how it dehumanizes people, but there isn't really
Mm-hmm.
a virtue argued for in Metamorphosis.
I hear that Penguin is also one of these shows where it's like they're not good people, but they affect the world around them. It's like, yeah,
Oh, definitely.
what about The Sopranos? There's also like a bunch of not good people that affect the world around them. Like, man, there's a ripple effect. But it's again, sounds good on paper at first, but then you actually get through it, it becomes a little more complex than just virtuous characters. You can expand on them more. It's like, I don't know. It feels about the same. It's just that the virtuous character you want to follow more. Because it feels like you want to follow them more, I guess. Because sometimes I'm like, man, you're too. It's kind of how I felt about like Attack on Titan. Like, these people are awful. I don't really want to follow these people, and I don't know. It just got too dark for me. Like,
I mean, I don't tend to have that problem. I've seen almost the entirety of It's Always Sunny, and there's nothing wrong with the format. Maybe I have some
Oh,
gripes with the
it's
issues, but it's a brilliant dark comedy, and that format absolutely works. And there
yeah.
are some great moments of cultural satire, and they are surprisingly very well characterized, and but there is a kind of running joke of them negatively affecting anybody who any recurring characters who frequently interacted with with the cast. There's this one character, Cricket, who was previously a priest, ends up a homeless man who has to like do the most disgusting fucking heinous shit to live on the street, and is always in worse and worse physical shape. I'll see him throughout the show. It is framed negatively, but
it's
it is another example of like
yeah,
characters
dark comedy.
Yeah, I have dark comedy. I have the shittier characters affecting the world around them, but
hmm
I never found it to be an issue following them. But that is a very subjective take, I find,
Oh yeah,
and
it's
people
like
have like their different lines.
because that being a comedy, I think it'd be a lot more digestible than it would be for a drama. Because drama is like, I think it's like, man, this is kind of heavy. Like you're taking it very seriously, and that's why the tone is very much a thing of when it comes to people digesting it better. Because there's a show called The Oblongs, where it's about a family of uh, people who are not good people, and they have these weird disabilities that you're supposed to laugh at. And it's like, I mean, it's a little bit of a dark comedy, but I like that show because it has this dark comedy aspect to it. Uh, so anyways,
In the Lord of the Rings trilogy, there are multiple times when a virtuous character has the Ring of Power within their grasp. Aragorn, Gandalf, and Faramir being the three most prominent. Sometimes the ring is being offered to them, and though it costs them to refuse the siren call of such power, they do so anyway, thus prolonging the story by leaving it in Frodo's grasp. If a character like Gandalf would have taken the ring, though his actions would have started off from a desire to do good for Middle-earth, his use of the ring would have essentially made him into another Sauron. Had such a thing happened,
that's actually true. If we ever read
Yep.
the lore, it's like, yeah, he would have been like, in fact, he would have taken over the Nazgul. Like,
Well, I mean, just look at the movie's quote in Fellowship where he's like, "Don't tempt me, Frodo." It's like, yes, I'd have a desire to use it for much good, but it would wield a force far too powerful than
but
like
but
I
through
forget the
me,
rest of the but
yeah, it's
through me,
almost
yeah.
like it's a allegory for sin. It's like, oh,
Yes.
so
I don't know if I
Mm-hmm.
agree with the whole he would become another Sauron bit, because basically every character that has wielded the ring or have been tempted by the ring, yeah, they could bring great power with the ring that they wield, but ultimately it would destroy them, and it would because the ring of
Huh.
power isn't meant to be the ring of power isn't meant to be wielded by anybody except Sauron. In fact, the ring tempts you to think that you might have that power, but it will ultimately destroy you, and you will basically not be like a golem, just be like a golem-like.
So
That's an interesting point of view.
one thing I do think the books, it's been years since I've read them, but one thing I do
Mhm.
think the books handle a bit better than the movies is that it is present in the movies, as Gandalf said, he would want to use a ring to do good, but um its power is too great and too corrupting for him to. But
Mhm.
one thing I think is handled a bit better in the books is that Frodo idolized Bilbo, absolutely idolized him, and wanted to go on an adventure like Bilbo.
Mhm.
Of course, by the time he gets to Rivendell, he is very disillusioned with that, but decides to continue on his journey for the sake of Middle Earth and the sake of man, or the Age of Man, rather.
Mhm.
No, I suppose.
Well,
Okay, I'm stupid. Sorry. The Age of Man passes after the ring is destroyed. It is present in the
that
Third Age.
that is a
But
that's in the movie as well. Well, mostly in the extended edition, but it is there.
it is in the
Frodo,
movie, but
Because Bilbo and Frodo. Well, Frodo doesn't mention it a whole lot, but Bilbo mentions it a lot. That Frodo, wants to be like Bilbo because he's a Baggins. He idolizes Bilbo in some way, and Gandalf even says he's very fond of you. And that is ultimately tested after the whole journey with the Nazgul, and Frodo even Frodo even talks to Sam about it. It's just like we've done our journey. I think we need to go now. And Frodo even tells Bilbo, is like, I'm sorry, Bilbo, but I'm not like you. I just want to go home.
Yeah.
So that is absolutely in the movie. That's more the setup of what I was getting to.
Mhm.
And it's also present in the breaking of the Fellowship and Frodo being willing to leave the Fellowship and heading Mordor alone. But in Return of the King, and throughout the whole trilogy, Sam has a dream at his own garden in the Shire that is pressed upon a lot throughout the movie. And by the scene where they cast aside everything except the ring in the movie, how it plays out in the book is that it was actually Frodo's idea to do so, and Sam is unable to cast aside both Sting and the hairs of Galadriel. And at least my reading of it is that Frodo is more singularly focused on the destruction of the ring, and though Sam is willing to give up his dream and he's willing to die for the ring's destruction, it is still ultimately a corruptible aspect of Sam that Frodo does not have to as much a degree, even though it's a very modest dream and it's not as corruptible as, say, Gandalf, who wants to change the world. He is still ultimately more corruptible for Frodo for coveting that dream. Again, it's been years since I've read it. Maybe my interpretation is off, but that's how I remember reading it.
I've learned a lot of lore about if Gandalf got the ring, it would be over. Like he wouldn't be exactly Sauron. He would take over. Like, yep, I'm the master now, and evil.
I mean,
Like, yep.
In my interpretation, when Galadriel says in place of a Dark Lord, you would have a queen, I more so think of that's what Galadriel thinks that she would have been with the ring, but the ultimate reality of it is that you will never replace Sauron with that ring because that ring is ultimately his, and it's designed to corrupt and destroy those who aren't him.
Yeah, I suppose.
Well, I mean, the idea is to get them to like probably the best thing that could have. Sorry, go ahead, Falco. I'm sorry.
I was about to say like, I kind of want to move forward, but if you guys still want to talk about it, that's fine.
Just gonna say, probably the best thing that could have happened for Frodo was, sorry, for Sauron was what happened, and it's for Frodo to claim ownership of the ring and to wield its power.
His whole points were emptied at the end.
It does.
Yeah.
It does grant. It does grant power, yes, and it will corrupt Gandalf's and Galadriel's desires. So Gandalf would have probably been extremely ruinous for Middle-earth, even if ultimately he would most likely bend to Sauron's will. So, like, yeah, that's maybe the end game, but, like, even Smeagol isn't at that point at the start of the Lord of the Rings trilogy, and he had the ring by himself in isolation in a cave for God knows how long.
I think it was
So
like
I think there's
500 years. 500
Yeah.
years.
Right. Yeah, 500 years. So I just think there's a I think eventually, yes, he would bend to Sauron's will, but there's a large amount of ruin for all of Middle-earth before that ever happens.
Well, you have to remember, it's like, what do all the people say that own the ring? It's mine. Sauron can't have it. It's like, oh, so come and get it. It's like,
I mean, the Nine Kings were given the rings because they were proud enough to think that it was their power alone, and they're fucking Nazguls now.
All right, let's continue.
Story would have been over within the Fellowship of the Ring. By refusing the ring and continuing to fight its call, Gandalf prolongs the life of Frodo and the peoples of Middle-earth at large.
I agree with that. By sort of like the story has its narrative going along. It's like, yeah, that does extend the narrative of Frodo, but that doesn't. But there would be a new narrative.
Yeah, because the story would fundamentally change.
Yes, Exactly.
It would be a worse one because it wouldn't be Lord of the Rings.
True. Fan fiction.
We have Gollum, a creature who is the exact opposite of virtuous. His first act upon seeing the ring is to murder his companion because he cannot resist its call. He had the ring in his possession for 500 years and allowed it to poison his mind to anything besides pure selfishness. He never was a virtuous character and spent the entirety of all of the films hunting for the ring, lusting after it, beyond wanting sleep, food, or water. He developed murder plans for Frodo and Sam and tried to kill them himself on numerous occasions. He does not display
Sorry, I'm just letting it go for a little while because like I don't know what the point is yet.
an ounce of remorse for his actions and is very clever about getting others to care about him, particularly Frodo.
Okay, I really
and then
disagree
using-
that Gollum doesn't display an ounce of remorse for his actions throughout the trilogy.
He does
I mean,
actually. He
Yeah,
he
he
portrays
does
he almost
so
sort-
comes
much.
back
Yeah, he
from the
does.
brink. Like,
He arguably is on the path of redemption she's advocating for prior to his abuse by Faramir and Faramir's men.
it's
He
a
thought
forbidden
Frodo
pool.
betrayed
Yeah.
him.
Like, if anything, Gollum's story is like a tragedy. It really
absolutely is.
Mhm.
I'm sorry, this is making me more upset than it should be, but this is such an oversimplification of Gollum's character that he's like solely motivated by selfishness and his desire for the rings, and that he never regrets it.
Well, he's addicted to it. That's the thing. It's like
Yeah.
it's the only thing he knows
It's
because
his crack
like
cocaine.
it's implied that like the ring stole everything from him, his identity, his name, who he was. That's why like Frodo like especially like shows like compassion
Sympathy.
to Gollum because his sympathy, my bad. Yeah.
Oh, it's fine.
Because like in his mind, like Frodo could become like Gollum, and that's the thing that he's
Oh, yeah.
absolutely terrified of.
And that's why Sam
Like,
gets
it's not
and
just
that's why Frodo
that-
gets really upset at Sam
not
saying
just-
he can't save him.
I'm sorry, I keep on interrupting you.
No, it's fun.
But it's
Go ahead.
not just that, it's not just that the ring took all that from Gollum. It's that he was rediscovering that because he was distanced from the ring, because he wasn't as dependent on it anymore. And he ultimately could have been a
Oh,
much
yeah.
better person,
Good point.
or I suppose creature, if it weren't for his belief that
Oh.
Frodo, the
Yeah.
only person he ever really trusted for over 500 years, betrayed him and led him to just pretty brutal abuse and beatings by like a whole
Faramir and his
army
men.
of men. Yeah,
Yes.
that's a fucking horrifying situation.
It and like what was the it's and one of the reasons why he was gone ring in the first place, not to go off on a too tangent, but like it is I believe it said rumored in the books that like he was tainted by men's world, and so like when he saw the ring it allowed him to be tempted faster, but it's like all right. Anyways, let's continue.
it against them. Though he is an interesting character in his own right and did have his role to play, there is no wish amongst the audience for him to live because of the monstrous things that he has done. And he himself
Monsters thing he did. I'm like, I don't know. It's like when he says like Smeagol lied, it's like I don't necessarily feel bad for him in a sense that he died from his actions, but I do feel sorry for him that like he had that was the road he went down.
I mean,
Yeah,
I
like-
feel
I think that if somehow the ring got thrown to Mount Doom and Gollum lived, he would have not fully gone back to being
Smeagol, yeah.
on his redemption. Yeah,
Yeah.
going back to Smeagol, but he would go back to his
What would he do?
redemption track when
That'd be
in,
weird.
Two Towers.
I wonder
Yeah,
if
I mean,
like
I would say-
he might go back, or it's like he might just be like he would probably die within a
Off
week.
himself.
Like because like I don't know, he would get older really fast. Like but
I mean, I absolutely had a want for Gollum to get better and to be a better, I guess not person, but a better Gollum.
a better
I know they're
Gollum
related
than
to
you.
hobbits. I don't remember what they're called.
He needs chicken
Um,
soup for the soul. A better golem
Nah.
than you.
No, that you're ruining it, Falco. You're ruining the tasty chicken.
I just love the idea that like Golem starts reading self-help books. It's like,
Be like, stupid habit.
no,
he's reading like a Dave what's like Jordan Peterson's 10 simple rules for life or something. He's like,
I would prefer if Gollum wrote a self-help book.
it's like you and me and me.
May I remind you, it is directly stated to pity Gollum because he may play a role for better or for worse, as well as the fact that it is unjust for you to decide who does get to live or who does get to die, when so many who deserve to live have died. And that it
so
is
many
Frodo's
deserve to
pity
live.
that destroys the ring, yet the audience does not sympathize for Gollum or feel pity for him.
I mean, you
Like,
can.
Yeah, I feel pity for him because
Uh-oh.
it's
Yeah,
like,
I
man,
absolutely do. I wouldn't say he's
Yeah.
like, it's necessarily, like, sure, I suppose I don't have a, I don't have any more
I'm
of a
not gonna
want
lose
for
sleep
Gollum
over
to
it.
live,
I'll say
but
that.
that's because
yeah.
it's, I mean, I don't have any more want for Gollum to live, but that's just because it would ultimately make a worse story. That's the problem, but
hmm
he was absolutely becoming a, like, he was absolutely becoming much more of his own identity and learning to trust others one distance from the ring. That is something you should pity. And
There's a lot to that.
I'm
That's complicated.
I'm sorry, I'm talking in circles, but this
Yeah.
boiling down of Smeagol's character
Mhm.
to it simply just being a selfish character who feels no remorse and solely has murderous intent towards Sam and Frodo throughout the trilogy
I
just
mean,
really bothers me.
well, he kind of does, but that's the thing. It's a broad thing that you have to just skim over. It's like, wait a minute. It's like,
yeah, I think it's like, I get where she's coming from, but at the same time, like,
yeah,
I agree with her. It's an oversimplification of Gollum's
intentions and what you're saying
character.
are different.
Yeah, because like, yes, Gollum did, like, his actions definitely do count as being an antagonist, but it's like, it's not like he wasn't on the path of becoming good in like Two Towers. It's just circumstances unfortunately pushed him into going back to who he once was. Because like, because like, this is where like I give like Andy Serkis like so much like props,
Andy
but like
Serkis
the
is so
moment
good.
when, yeah, but like when the moment like he gives that look to Frodo, being like, "What's happening?" Like, you know, he's being like, you know, manhandled and stuff by like Faramir and everyone
Manhandled.
else. It's just like, it's, yeah, part of my, yeah,
No,
you
it's
get what I
fine.
mean. Like, just like, you feel so bad for him because you're like, from his perspective, it's like he feels like he's being betrayed by Frodo, like that he's not doing, that like everything he did for him was just for in vain. It's
And
like,
keep in mind, as far as we know, the extent of his interpersonal reactions was Bilbo stealing the ring from him, or at least from his point of view, stealing the ring from him. Torture in Mordor.
True.
Gandalf, quote unquote, putting the threat of fire into Gandalf. Sorry, into Gollum rather.
Yeah.
Something Gandalf himself regrets, and at least in the books, most likely one of the reasons why
They
Gandalf
interrogated
preaches
him after he
pity
escaped.
towards Gandalf.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
they.
like Gandalf says, I had to put the threat of fire into him. That's arguably one of the reasons why Gandalf stresses pity for Gollum so much.
What did you
Frodo
tell
is the
him?
only person he was able to trust within 500 years, and then Frodo tells him to leave. Frodo tells him to enter this cave to immediately get kicked in the fucking stomach over and over again by people over twice his height. Like,
It's it's just funny. It's like, what did you tell him? What did you tell Sauron? He put the fire into him.
yeah, like, yeah, I gotta get going.
All
But,
right, you have a good
Alright.
one.
yes, take care, everyone. Best of luck with the
Yay,
video,
back here.
and take care.
yeah, I'm sorry. I trying to keep my cool, but it actually really bothers me. You say Gandalf. Sorry, why do you keep saying
I don't
Gandalf?
know. They're
You
both
say
because of the
Gollum is just
G.
motivated by selfishness throughout the trilogy, and that he doesn't regret any of his actions.
Well, he did, and then he doesn't. Like, yeah.
Has no desire to live without the ring either. He must have the ring, or he will die trying. The same is not true for Aragorn, however, who was also offered the ring, and yet refused it even though it called to him as well. Power was never something the Ranger wanted, and when offered it, it was in his nature to deny it. He never wanted the power of the throne of Gondor either, too haunted by grief and his own past to wish for that larger responsibility. That doesn't make him a selfish character, however. It simply means that he had his own road to reach the throne, and along the way he remained committed to doing what he believed in, which was protecting others, even if it meant dying. He is by
Well, I think it's a little simplistic too, because a lot of that had to do with Boromir. Like,
Also,
yeah.
oh, sorry, go ahead, Falco.
Boromir led him toward the path of like, to even insult him. It's like, listen, you coward, you're gonna stay in your little hovel. You're gonna still be a ranger, like, and then like, I'm not taking the ring near your city, you jerk. It's like they have that, I'm sort of like using modern language, but that's pretty much what they like said to each other. It's like you're a coward. You're evil. Oh, like, and that's and that I think that's more of the ring also like making them crazy. It's like there's all these external factors about, and when Boromir dies, um, when you see how Boromir was tempted toward the ring, but he still fought bravely to save like the hobbits that he befriended. Um, it's like there is bravery in men, and like from that point on, he decides that like he needs to grow as a king, not as a ranger. So yeah, that is sort of simplifying his journey of a bit.
I also think it's a bit unfair to say that, like, Aragorn stays true to his convictions when we're contrasting him with Gollum. Gollum does break his moral convictions, for sure. He plots murder again, and he attempts to commit murder again. Something we know he is, like, very morally opposed to. But, like, he does stay true to some of his convictions. Like, or rather, that's not really the case. Rather, he has the conviction that he is the only person he can rely on. He and arguably the ring, or if you want to say the identity created by the ring, if
Well,
you want to
his
separate
conviction is like, I want
Smeagol
that
and
ring.
Gollum.
No one else can have it. Everyone who else has it can die. It's like,
But
yeah.
Gollum does believe that he is the only person he can rely on, and then he attempts to rely on somebody else,
Yes,
and
correct.
it goes terribly for him. It wasn't Frodo's fault, but that's not something he seems to understand. So
Yeah.
I don't think it's fair to say that, oh, well, Aragorn stays true to his convictions. Gollum tried to betray his conviction, and as far as he knows, it was proven wrong, and then stay true to that throughout the rest of Return of the King.
Yeah, and like
Like,
and I'd say Aragorn doesn't stay true to his conviction sometimes, because sometimes he it takes Theoden to realize, it's like, dude, what would you have? He teaches him like sometimes being a king is not just telling your people the truth. Sometimes it's like you need to give them courage, even though it may not seem like we have a chance. It's like, what in the world are you saying? And then his conviction is reinforced when he has like, as like because of the human beings there at Helm's Deep, and he's like, and then I shall die as one of them. And then he learns from Theoden. But yeah, still in a sense, like when he gets his new mission to all that stuff he did, it's like, yeah, he does continue with the conviction and Return of the King. So like, yes, I agree with that part.
Definition of virtuous character demonstrated many times throughout the trilogy, and his refusal of power also expands the narrative of The Lord of the Rings. His self-sacrificial nature draws others to him and makes him a king and a man worth following. As a result, he is loved and admired by his friends and future subjects and allies, and feared by his enemies. Had Aragorn taken the ring, Much like Gandalf, Middle-earth would have been doomed. Virtuous characters prolong the life of a story because of the connections that they build and the people they affect.
I don't know.
What
Like,
the fuck?
What about the actual character? Because Aragorn was somebody who didn't believe that man was worth saving because you remember how he
well,
said that
um,
I wouldn't let the ring within 100 leagues of your city because he was afraid
well,
that
mhm,
that man would be corrupted by the ring and thus he didn't trust him fully, mainly because of Elrond's teachings, but also the fact that
mhm.
his father Isildur was corrupted and is the reason
Well,
why
his
evil
ancestor
prevailed.
Isildur, yes.
Yeah, it wasn't his father.
Yeah, I'm about to
He
say,
was
like, man,
Isildur's heir.
he's kind of dead. It's like,
I mean, not
but
even like
anyways,
directly related to Lord of the Rings, but
okay.
the idea she just proposed that virtuous characters like prolong the life of a story because they cause more, because they promote more dynamic and more, I suppose, multi-dimensional relationships is just so
On its face, wrong.
absurd.
Mhm.
It is, yes.
There's lots, like I
Like
said
a
earlier, there's a lot of characters that are just that are such antagonists that like the reason why they're such antagonists is because they affect the hero. Like, yeah.
and like when we look
Mhm.
at a few famous anti-heroes or villains throughout
Mhm.
media.
Kratos,
I
baby.
don't want to get too bogged down on exact examples, but
Mhm.
often what makes them as interesting as they are is the contradictions present in their character, and that they are willing to recognize they're wrong and still continue to do so. And
Mhm.
the
Yeah.
view of said character by whoever else is in the story changes dramatically as much as people's view of Aragorn changes throughout the story. Like as a result, Aragorn is loved. Okay, what about as a result, people's moral framework is shattered by this character, or people who once looked up to this character see him as pitiable, or a menace, or malicious, or any number of things.
Well, I guess you
Like,
can.
isn't that like, isn't that what The Sopranos is about?
Well, I said that
And
earlier. It's like
the whole show is a character
mhm.
study.
Good is good, but bad is bad. Yes, I agree. It's like, so what about the character stuff? It's like, I was thinking of like, man, it's kind of funny how Dio is a generational hater and he affects the world around him. It's like,
I mean, I'm not sure Dio's the best counter example because he
no,
doesn't
it's
have the
not.
strongest
But
relationships.
oh no, but
I
still, it's like you affect the world around you and it's like you have more, it's like his direct relationship with the Joe stars directly like affects their lives. It's like, what are you talking about?
So like the movie follows a story that already had a conclusion, and thus it does wrap itself up neatly in a much shorter runtime than it does wrap itself up neatly in a much shorter runtime than Lord of the Rings because it attempts to maintain a very quick pace throughout the entire movie. Not because it had a conclusion, that was stupid of me to say. But like something like Goodfellas, on top
Mm,
of like we get to explore the relationship between all the characters, of course, but on top of that, they are also performing throughout the entire time. Like
I
so much of
mhm.
the social code between the Goodfellas is what they call ball busting, and
Oh yeah, yeah.
not being able to simultaneously demonstrate camaraderie with the other Goodfellas, while also asserting some sort of power within your gang, or and it is a very interesting kind of relationship, or like something like Hamlet, an extremely irony coded play where all the most interesting characters are interesting because they are built up of contradictions that the characters themselves either try to resolve or are visible through dramatic irony to the audience. the idiom brevity is the soul of wit comes from Hamlet, because there's a character who's extremely long-winded, and in an extremely
Yeah.
long-winded soliloquy to prove his intelligence, says brevity is the soul of wit, and then continues on in what's described by other characters as more art than matter. And then on the other hand, you have Hamlet in a play all about self-determination, um, uh,
Yeah.
where it's very hard to gauge how much that can even apply to the protagonist because his mental state is just in question the entire time. And
Um.
I really hate the idea that
Yeah.
virtuous characters lend more interesting relationships or even more prolonged relationships.
Yeah. I don't. I really think that like it would have been a bit nicer to have like the difference between protagonist and heroic, because these are two different things.
Selfish characters are only concerned with their own desires and goals, ignoring others unless they are convenient for their purposes. This narrows the story to a singular point, making it one-dimensional and unremarkable. There are, of course,
No.
What about Joker?
No.
It's
I
a
was
character study about a single person, and he does some
Wait, can
really.
I
Yeah. Go ahead.
can I hear that again?
Sure. You can do that. That's fine. Don't worry about it. There we go.
of a story because of the connections that they build and the people they affect. Selfish characters are only concerned with their own desires and goals, ignoring others unless they are convenient for their purposes. This narrows the story to a singular point, making it one-dimensional and unremarkable.
Whoa, wait a minute.
Okay, why are we narrowing it down? Okay, so why are we narrowing it down to one character trait, as if a character can only be virtuous or only be selfish, and as if selfish characters don't tend to struggle with their selfishness, and playing out like in some of the most famous media in
Tony
any
Stark.
fucking medium you could point to. Point to video games, you have Silent Hill 2. Point to TV shows, you have The Wire,
Penguin.
Breaking Bad, whatever the fuck you want to point to. Point
A
to
penguin.
point
Yeah,
to
the
literature. We have a character again, Hamlet. Polonius doesn't ignore the other characters. He constantly asserts his control over them, and he constantly tries to control their actions. He doesn't like he doesn't treat them as props. Okay, sorry, he treats them as props, but he consistently tries to use them. He doesn't ignore them.
I wish you would this woman would consider like saying this about their writer. Therefore, it's implied by the writers being selfish that they write the characters their way, but they don't consider the rest of the world. It's like that would be stronger than just saying they write characters this way. It's like that's a little more broad.
I guess it would be stronger, but I am kind of a death of the author type. I'm not too interested in what the writer was trying to say when they wrote it.
Not trying to say what they actually think, and then they spread that on the paper. That's what I mean. Like that's not necessarily have to do with the author's intentions. But yeah, I know what you mean.
I don't really try to reverse engineer where the author was coming from.
Unless there
are times where it's like,
Mhm.
I mean, there are times where it's like,
It's really
why
obvious.
did you write this when it's not even that it's really obvious. It's just like I cannot imagine how you get yourself to this point. Like, why did you? Why is all this setup ignored? Why are we just contradicting things that was said 2 minutes later, or whatever number of things? There's times where I'm like, how can you make this many mistakes? But it never really gets to the point of trying to reverse engineer what the message the author was trying to convey is. I'm more interested in what actually
is said.
Thematically, I'm more interested in what comes out in the finished product.
Oh, absolutely. That's not what I'm trying to say. What I mean, like, when they have the thought process of writing on it, and it's really obvious about what they're saying, it's like, then I think it's not that big of a leap to sort of see how they reverse engineered it, or how I did it. Like it's kind of obvious sometimes, especially when they do. I think this would have worked better for self inserts. because self-insert characters are really easy to spot with authors, like especially when they are lazy.
I mean, I don't know if there's much more to be gathered from saying the author is being heavy-handed in portraying their beliefs versus the story is just heavy-handed on its own. Like, if something is, if just to use a really silly example, if we were to write a story that is way too preachy about tying your shoes and exaggerates the dangers of not tying your shoes, then, like, yeah, it's true that the author believes that you should tie your shoes, but I don't know if there's much more to be gathered from saying the author believes that versus this story is overly heavy-handed about it.
Yeah, it might be like the funniest film ever. That sounds like the funniest film ever, but that's pretty much what it kind of is for me. I'm like, if it's really heavy-handed, I think it's a sign of bad writing. Like, especially when it's done in a preachy way, or like.
Here's a problem that I've.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. I was going to say there's a lack of. I'm thinking two things at once right now. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Here's a problem I have with these sorts of videos, and I've
Mhm.
seen a good number of these types of videos where they'll talk about a problem that they've spotted in film. It can be a valid problem,
Mm-hmm.
but while they explain all about why that problem is generally bad, they fail to explain the good aspects of said problem, the opposite side of said problem that proves that it can actually be done well. And that's what I've noticed with a lot of these videos, is that they fail to explain when is this done correctly.
Mm-hmm.
That's something I see
No, you
in
don't
the
understand. Blood Meridian is fucking awful. Clearly, no virtuous characters.
I remember like I was watching a drinker video, and it's like they started recommending other things, and like, or if you talk positive about one thing, they'll talk about how this one doesn't do it so good. Just having the opposite sort of thing is actually very
Yeah,
beneficial for your analysis, and
Who
also
knew?
like,
Who knew providing examples was actually a
oh
good
wow,
function?
hey Vic,
Yeah, he's back.
I just got back.
we've been on this for a while, yeah.
I got a Kit Kat.
Did you hear what
Oh,
she
give me a
said?
break, Vic.
So, Vic, I do
Uh,
have to give you a little analysis that will make you a bit perturbed, I suppose. So
What happened?
good old Gollum from Lord of the Rings, he is solely motivated by selfishness and his desire for the ring, and he never regrets his actions. And so the audience doesn't feel so the audience
There's a,
understands that he deserves his death and don't feel much sympathy towards Gollum during his death.
Isn't there like a whole scene where
yes.
Frodo's like talking to Gollum, and you see Gollum look like he's like looking at someone who's basically seeing the old him for the first time, and you can tell that Smeagol is like genuinely disturbed by what he's become at one point, but then he gets
I
reverted back because of the results of like Frodo's decisions.
I listen.
Yes.
I don't think she's completely wrong in this video. She has made good points. It's just that
Mm-hmm.
I can't help but be a little upset at this point, because it's just like, is Goodfellas a bad movie then, since it mainly focuses around selfish people?
Did you guys see my
Is
name on the watch together?
No, I don't. I don't see it.
Oh, what? Oh yeah, the Vic CCP.
Oh my gosh,
What is this?
he's a glowy.
So Vic,
But it's just, what does she have to say about a film like Goodfellas, which Henry is not a virtuous character. He's kind of an ass. No, it's not even kind of. He is an asshole, and the only reason the only reason things work out for him in the end is because he was so fucking scared of what was going to happen to him, that he was just like, okay, I have to do it. I have to rat these people out, otherwise I'm going to die.
so Vic, I'm
Oh,
going to try
okay.
to summarize her point as well as I can.
Mm.
It's that virtuous characters prolong the life as a story because they have stronger relationships with other characters, and that virtuous characters also enable more interesting relationships than a less virtuous character, and as well, that a virtuous character allows for a much wider scope to the story than a selfish character, and that you limit what you can do with the story when writing a selfish character.
That's very
Actually,
situational
like
because there are several shows I've seen where the main character is like kind of selfish or very like basically not a virtuous character, but the story goes a while because of the fact that the character is interesting and intelligent and keeps himself afloat and
well,
makes intelligent decisions to like keep the story going.
Actually, I'm sorry,
let's
Falco, do you mind replaying the last 30 seconds after
like
somebody makes his point?
I want to
Nah.
hear Sun Lee make his point because Sun Lee has been trying
I
to
was
speak
gonna
for a
s-
bit.
I was gonna say like the whole entire Game of Thrones universe is all about basically non-virtuous people like making it out on top, like and prolonging the story. Like yeah, it starts out with one of the most virtuous characters, like with Ned Stark, but like after spoilers, he dies. You know,
What?
basically, I know, right?
I
After
Bit,
that, it's just basically backstabbing and like people doing dubious things just for selfish reasons because they want a seat at a chair, you know.
Actually,
no
one of my
no
favorite moments from Game of Thrones is a virtuous character like Robb Stark making a non-virtuous, making a dishonorable decision by deciding to marry someone he wasn't sworn to, and
Hmm.
that comes back to bite him in the ass. Because if he did marry the Frey wife, the Red Wedding probably wouldn't have happened. But as a result of him going back on that deal, it backfired pretty heavily. So the story actually has a really cool thing where it punishes him for not being like his father at times because his father was almost like honorable to a fault.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking about the all these films that don't have much virtue in it or just don't have virtuous characters. Big Lebowski, No Country for Old Men, Uncut
I mean,
Gems. It's like
there is a virtuous character in No Country for Old Men. It's the sheriff.
Yeah.
It's the
Yeah.
it's the Tommy Lee Jones character.
there is, but the whole point of that movie is that virtue isn't enough in that world.
Well, yeah, he's very much out of his depth. He's just he's a
Yes.
small town sheriff dealing with cartel madness.
Yeah.
Frogo?
Yeah.
I just.
What's up?
Oh, sorry, Falco. What am I talking about? I was just going to ask if you mind.
Y'all sound the same, you know.
Yeah,
We don't.
can't get
No.
We
the.
really don't.
No,
Basically the same person.
I think we'll be fine. I think we'll be fine.
All
I
right,
wanna hear,
fair
I
enough.
want to hear Froggo say Dagon.
Anyway, so like I get the whole idea and I'm like I'm on board, but the way you're doing it, I'm like nope, I'm off the train. Sorry, you're on your own. I don't
I
agree.
mean, for me,
I'm not on the train.
Yeah.
I'm completely off the train. I do agree with the Tad the character. I think that we should have more stories with virtuous character, like more contemporary stories with virtuous characters, because that style should exist. It is a style that a lot.
Mhm.
It is a style that a lot of great works have come out of, and that you can do a lot of great stuff with. And we should have. We should promote as many strong styles of media as we can. Like that 100% should be something that is available to people who want it. But every point she's made so far has been pretty weak for me.
Yeah. I
At least in favor of that thesis.
Point, making it one-dimensional and unremarkable. There are, of course, exceptions to this, and in the hands of skilled writers,
Oh,
those
well-
exceptions can be quite.
Oh, hold on. Let's go back a little bit. I
don't think
I
the
want to hear this
visual-
full thing, real quick.
Writers, those exceptions can be quite good. But we are seeing less and less of those types of stories as well. Instead,
Well, okay, so this diffuses your whole past arguments because you've been saying it's like nothing ever happened from this, and then all of a sudden it's like yeah, but they're a skilled writer. It's like well, good night, folks.
Well, maybe if you're like maybe if you're Shakespeare, like maybe the vast majority of Shakespeare's tragedies, those are okay stories.
Remember, if you're not J.R.R. Tolkien, you suck. Like,
You know-
wow.
fucking Norby just saying, well, if you're Shakespeare.
I just realized, like, virtuous or not. It's like and then all of a sudden
I
it turns
can't
into, but
I can't concede. The story of Icarus is all right. Okay, I'll give you
It
that.
was okay the way
at
they
least.
did it.
at the time,
At the time.
oh man,
We are now looking at stories about characters whose only goal is fame and power, who actively try to make small the contributions and choices of other characters that have come before them, and in doing so, they make their own stories small as well.
I was agreeing until that last part. They make their story small as well. It's like, do they mean by meta impact? Because that may be true. Because I'm like, Iron Man is huge.
Is it a meta thing, or is it like
Like,
is it a meta thing, or is a character like doing bad things makes
I
your story
think-
feel like smaller in the sense that it's like smaller scale? Because that's not the case either. So
Yeah.
that's
Then
the
we
basic
end up
thing.
with.
I think it's a
let's take
meta
her
thing she's talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah,
It
it's
might,
definitely meta.
I mean, it might be a meta thing, but I would even argue against that because it's like smaller. It's like I don't know. There's a lot of characters that do things for like kind of selfish reasons or for very like self kind of putting yourself forward in a lot of shows I've seen, and that story gets pretty big. It gets pretty popular. So it's like I'm not sure what's the again. I feel like this is the sort of thing where it's like I can get behind the idea of wanting
Contextual.
more. Wanting I can get behind the idea of wanting more movies with virtuous characters or more stories with virtuous characters. I'm very much behind that. But saying that virtuous characters do something for a story as like a kind of absolute statement, I cannot like get behind that because it's incredibly situational.
Mhm.
It's an
Also-
incredibly situational statement.
This is also another. Well, in the hands of a skill writer point, it's like
Yeah.
it seems like she's criticizing works that criticize the genre they're within. But then what about actually good genre satire? Like in the hands of a skilled writer director, yeah, Inglorious Bastards is all right.
It's alright, you know. It's
It-
alright.
it's
I could
okay.
watch it again.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. It's like, it seems to be very contextual, but it's like, well, I don't know. It's the thing about the rule nowadays is that, like, if you do something that's really good and has virtuous characters in it, like the Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, as I hear, it's like, it's almost like there's a gap in the market that you can take advantage of, and that's like, yeah, that's the thing though. If you find gaps in the market you can take advantage of when it comes to shows, movies, whatever, it's like you're gonna get a new audience for that. Like, it's especially if it's Game of Thrones.
Well, in the
Oh
hands
yeah,
of skill
especially with the
writer.
fact that especially with the fact that Knight of Seven Kingdoms is such a stark contrast to
I get
House
it.
of the Dragon,
Stark.
Game of Thrones.
What,
Anyways.
what were you gonna what
Were you
what
saying
were
something?
you gonna say, something?
Oh, all I said was in the hands of a skilled writer. Like you can capitalize on the market that is like what Falco said.
If there's a bad thing that you want to adapt and you do it strictly from that, it's going to be bad. Like, but if you adapt
Not
something,
necessarily.
no. If you take something bad and you deliver it the same way through another medium, it's still going to be bad. Like, you
Yeah.
need
Yeah,
to
probably.
you
Yeah.
need to change
Last
it.
of Us season 2.
Huh?
Last of Us season 2. They adapted something bad.
Yeah.
They basically did the same
Well,
thing.
it got worse actually.
It
didn't
got
Yeah,
worse in the
it's
Somehow
game.
ended up
worse.
being worse
It's
in the
like,
game.
you can, yeah, it's like, it's sort of like, no, I'm talking about strict adaptation, you know, like, it's
I don't
where,
think
like,
you can do a strict adaptation.
you can.
Especially-
After
People have done it with the Alice in Wonderland stuff. It's like people have done strict adaptations of that, and it's not as good as like the Disney version because there's no bending of the adaptation.
I was thinking about with different medias, like from video games to movies, TV shows.
Oh, that's hard. Like,
after After Joel dies, the most virtuous character we have in Last of Us is a fucking clicker.
I think
All that clicker wanted was a fucking bite to eat, and he just wanted to put food on the table.
I disagree.
No, Froggo.
I think Biggest Sandwich was actually virtuous too.
You know what? Joel's brother killing that guy, virtuous. Tommy, baby. Anyways. Also, what was his name? Who's the guy that punches that kid against the door?
Vic just posted it. It's Fat Geralt.
Fat Geralt, baby! Virtuous!
He better be in season 3.
No, you know who was really virtuous? That garage door for helping him out.
She'd be dead. Anyways.
You know, Lev, that your head hitting the concrete would be a lot harder if I didn't stop your head from hitting the concrete that hard.
Anyways, let's move on.
The second reason is simply values. I would much rather read or watch a story about a character or characters that have been broken down by secrets and other reasons, but that are still trying to do the right thing, still trying to protect people, still facing down their own personal challenges because it is the right thing to do. Beyond making stories small and insignificant.
Okay, but
Yeah,
Okay.
that's a nice thing to read.
That's really nice on paper. But
Yeah.
But like the thing that makes a character like Gollum interesting is that he does also struggle to do that, and he fails. That is still interesting in and of its own. That's still interesting in its own right.
It is.
Yeah, a lot of characters are like that. Some of my favorite characters, like Marcus from Arcane Season 1.
I was just thinking Marcus. Yeah.
What about Light
Single
Yagami,
brain
who
cell,
wants to
baby.
do the right thing through his Death Note, but instead is like becomes a maniacal maniac. It's like
Yeah, he becomes
It's really interesting.
Megalomaniac. Yeah.
yeah, he's
Or like somebody like Macbeth, who is pigeonholed by his position of power and by his want to preserve his own life, especially against a prophecy against him, to just keep on committing worse acts. He struggles with it. He wants to be good. He doesn't feel he's in a position to be good. Like it is an interesting conflict. I agree, but it's not interesting for the outcome being that they end up being good.
I just
Like that could be done. That could be the case. There are plenty of incredible examples of that, but there's plenty of just as good counterexamples.
I think it's like I think I'm with Mahler about like when you give writing advice, they better be really good ones, or else because there's so many things you can do with it. It's it's almost like a buffet of ideas.
Well, I've noticed from a lot of writing advice channels is you can usually just add the point of if it's written well, like to any points that they have against something, and it completely nullifies their point.
I don't get
Yeah,
the
my
idea.
general,
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry. It's like my general writing advice, if I ever give writing advice to people, is that I never tell them that it's a bad idea to do something. I say it's difficult. Because
Yes.
if you are a good writer, you can kind of make something good out of even something that sounds terrible. It's just that oftentimes a lot of the things that sound terrible sound the way they do because it would be incredibly difficult.
Because
to
on
make
paper, it sounds like a bad
somebody
idea.
else,
Yeah.
or somebody
Yeah,
else
on
tried to
paper,
do
wow.
it and they did
And
bad
failed,
at and failed at it.
I think Nostalgia Critic said it best. It's like, say it slowly with me now. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's like, yeah, that does sound like a stupid
it's like,
idea.
on paper, it probably sounds ridiculous, but
it sounds
it's all
retarded.
in the
Yeah,
execution.
but
It's all in the way you do it.
yeah, it's like it's a generational show. Well, not anymore, but
I mean, it was generational to me. It was to me.
yeah. Oh yeah, dude. Like I would recommend people watch the 2003 show. It's really
I
good.
love the 2003 one, dude. Dude, the 2003 one's so good.
Hey, what if we wrote a sitcom about a group of 4, soon to be 5 characters who
Friends? Oh.
who constantly keep on migrating closer and closer to each other despite bringing out the absolute worst in each other, and who are unable to form relationships with anybody else due to their completely horrific behavior.
This is Always Sunny.
That is
Yeah.
shit. What's the word for when you not only permit but promote a behavior? And yeah, the horrible
Instigate.
behavior enabled
Instigate.
by them throughout,
Inst-
while having
Dalen?
complete ignorance to how. No, enabled. Like, yeah,
Enable.
what if we wrote a story about
Enable.
5 horrible people who keep on enabling each
Enabling,
other and
yeah.
migrating closer and closer together, while remaining
Dalen.
completely in the dark about their own flaws and completely ignorant about it? It's like,
Dalen.
it can work. It can also be the worst thing ever.
BoJack Horseman. Well, wait.
Is that Always Sunny? Is that Always
Yes.
Sunny?
It's always
Yeah,
Sunny.
it could also be Community,
Yeah,
but that
Always
has 6 people.
Well, the thing is, though, like I said, I think tone has a lot to do with it. When it comes to comedies, it's like, yeah, they're crappy people, but you're meant to laugh at their antics, even though it's not painted as good. But like, if it's a drama, it's completely different.
Oh yeah.
I
Like,
mean,
if Always Sunny is a drama, then it would be putting a greater emphasis on the fact that they are pretty horrific people, and that you should not be supporting what they're doing. But with Always Sunny, because of the comedic nature of it, you still don't support it, but you find it extremely funny.
I mean, it is a lot more digestible for being a comedy, but I don't know if
Absolutely.
I wouldn't say that means better.
Oh no, I'm not saying better or worse, because it's the tone allows it to be more digestible when it comes to the tone. Anyways, She-Hulk.
Significant. Selfish characters are simply less interesting to watch than virtuous ones. Again,
That is a
Are
lie.
they?
That is a lie.
I disagree.
I'm sorry. Can I hear that? Can I hear that again? Can I hear that again?
Sure.
Yeah, Jamie, rewind that.
that have been broken down by secrets and other reasons.
Chat, is this real?
But that are still trying to do the right thing, still trying to protect people, still facing down their own personal challenges because it is the right thing to do. Beyond making stories small and insignificant, selfish characters are simply less interesting to watch than virtuous ones. Again, with exceptions.
Oh, come on. Stop it. Stop
What
it.
the fuck?
Also,
Please
when he
find
says like the stories of them are insignificant, I'm like, wow.
This is the equivalent of basically saying like a objective opinion and just saying, well, in my opinion, like she's saying basically objectively, subjectively.
Lady, counterpoint.
Yeah.
My favorite character in Game of Thrones was Tywin Lannister, and he's a selfish fucker, but I love him.
So
He's
I'm just
so
Oz
cool.
Cobblepot.
I know we talked about it a lot.
Oh yeah, Oz, dude, Oz.
Oswald,
I know we talked
man.
about it a lot. I'm just using it because it's her own example. Please find me the 2 people who left the theaters after watching Fellowship of the Ring and went, yeah, Saruman got too much screen time. Yeah, my least favorite character, Saruman.
You know what I hate? Christopher Lee in a white robe. Daggone it, I'm leaving.
What's interesting? What's interesting about Henry Hill from Goodfellas? I don't know. What could be interesting about him? He's selfish.
You know
That's
what?
all that matters, right?
Kratos
You know what,
from God of
Griffith?
War.
A+, good guy.
You know, Griffith is still my absolute number 1 best visually characterized character ever.
You know what's
His visual characterization is fucking phenomenal. And the shot composition, incredible throughout.
I will say, I can't use
still
you.
remember, the meme of
Yeah.
sorry.
No, but like I can't.
Sorry,
I can't use the examples of Yu Yu Hakusho because all those, every single character, no matter how evil they are portrayed as humanistic, which means they have like not all their parts of them are evil. So it's like, man, I can't do it.
I mean, Falco, fucking fucking Yoshikage Kira from JoJo. It's like he's really selfish. He's a fucking psychopath. But like, every time he's on screen, I'm like, oh yeah, I like this character.
I would
He's
say
fucking
I
scary,
kind of
but
feel
I
that
love
way
him.
about like sometimes I watch Dio and I'm like, yes, do more. Like
Yeah, like it's just fun to see like selfish characters because like they can be really entertaining.
Yeah, honestly, I completely disagree with it. I found what's the opposite of virtuous?
Oh, I got a great
Virtuous? I don't know.
example. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Characters more interesting to watch than virtuous characters.
There's a great example for this. The recent
50-50
Mortal
on
Kombat movie where that guy is
Well, yeah,
Scorpion's
written well.
ancestor. He's virtuous,
Yeah,
but
and
he's
he's
so boring.
well, it's virtuous without any character because he doesn't really have a
Exactly.
character beyond protagonism, man.
He just
It's
has
like there are
hero's
virtuous
journey.
characters who are like
Ugh.
yeah, because it's like Aragorn is a very virtuous character, but he's interesting to watch because of the character they gave him.
Yes,
Because
he has
of like
to
the
grow.
complexity
Yeah,
and the
in,
things he has to do.
in a very
So the
humanistic
problem with
way.
like what is the name of the fucking Mortal Kombat character? Like
I don't
the
know.
protagonist man, because even his name was like
I think it's like
something Cole Young.
Cole Young.
oh yeah, I was gonna call him Joe's
Protagonist
mama.
ass name.
But, I don't know.
John Combat.
John
Marvel.
Combat. Yeah. That's what I mean. It's like I don't remember his name because like he's a nobody. You know, I remember the protagonist of the original Mortal Kombat is Liu Kang. Like
I remember.
No.
I
We
remember
we
Kano
can't
from the movie.
for goodness
we
sake.
we can't
Kano was
use Liu
amazing.
Kang. We can't use Liu Kang. There's too much going on in his story. We need Jimmy Fighter. That's what we need.
Jimmy Fighter. I want to make a custom character in Mortal Kombat called Jimmy Fighter.
Jimmy beat him up.
Jimmy beat him
So
up.
Vic,
What do we say about freaking Jack Torrance from The Shining? Is like he has very selfish needs, but he's such an interesting villain.
He's almost the main character.
Oh.
The father.
I
Yeah.
just had another JoJo's example, but it's a character who became less interesting when we removed the more selfish aspects. Granted, I'm only halfway through the part, but with Giorno, we got the setup of him being a Dio-san, which is they're
Yeah.
very heavy-handed about. All we needed was a leaky eye Luca encounter, and
Yeah.
any character could establish that his hair color changed. That's all we needed. But we get 4 episodes of Koichi and Jotaro following him, with the conclusion being that despite his pettier crimes and his more selfish actions, he is ultimately a good person. We get the visual characterization with him having blonde hair, his name being spelled Gio, but being pronounced Joe, his stand having life energy similar to Haman, despite yelling futile with his punches, and being gold in nature, again drawing back to the hair. We have all that very strong development of him all that very strong setup of him outwardly appearing like a character who is motivated by selfishness, but ultimately being a good person. And then the main plot happens. All of that is put on the back burner. Just does not exist for at least as far as I've watched, past like episode 5. He's just perfectly moral throughout for the rest of it, and just becomes so much less interesting, and so much lost potential there. Even though we did have a character like Yasuke, who I was glazing earlier, it doesn't change much, but has much more dynamic relationships than Giorno, and ultimately, for the most part, values don't change. He is good. That can be done well, but the problem is we set up so much with Giorno, and it doesn't pay off. So it's like
I will say, Part 5 has Golden Wind has the best Joe Bros. Like
The
yeah, I like every character
Dude.
besides Giorno so far.
Oh, Bucciarati will end
I
up
like
being
Bruno.
probably
Bruno,
your
I think,
favorite
was my
character.
favorite. I like Bruno a lot.
Bruno Bucciarati, best Joe Bro.
I
fucking
am
love how
fun
he
of
uses his
Narantia.
powers.
Narancha's cool.
It's
I
crazy.
love
Narancha's
Narancha.
cool. Narancha.
Anyways, hold on. Let's get to
Before we
It's
get
interesting
too
to watch
immersed
than
into
virtuous
JoJo's.
ones. Again, with exceptions. It's why characters who possess honor, bravery, and perseverance.
You
are
can't
so
just
memorable
say
throughout them.
exceptions. You got to give
One character that I
examples.
Okay.
perseverance are just so memorable to the audience. One character that I constantly go back to is the 2014 portrayal of Desmond Doss in Hacksaw
Doyle.
Ridge. Of course,
Or
Sam
Doss,
Worthington
movie.
and Vince Vaughn helped the story along,
It is a great
but it's
movie.
Andrew Garfield's portrayal of Doss that particularly resonated with me. Not only does this film demonstrate the cost of war on the soldiers fighting in it, it showcases the indomitable will of the human spirit. Doss's prayers for deliverance and strength on the battlefield are hair-raising, and his willingness to save every person that he can, despite the ways he has been wronged by his commanding officers, is of particular significance. He is slight and unassuming, but possesses a great deal of restraint in the movie, making him a figure of quiet strength and someone that his fellow soldiers will not go to war without. His values are of...
That is a particularly strong point of that movie, but like
Mhm.
the selfishness of the other people makes him more interesting by contrast. Like the whole idea, so they're not selfish. What I mean is like
Yeah, I wouldn't call any of them selfish.
not not necessarily selfish, but they are like, dude, you're making our lives worse just because you won't pick up a gun. What the heck's wrong with you? Like,
And yeah, and he kind of has to prove them wrong because from their position,
Mhm.
he is like kind of making things worse because they are in a war
yeah.
situation. You have to pick up the gun. So it's from their perspective. It does seem like he's being like doing something selfish by not like choosing to pick up a gun and help
That's
the rest of the
true.
squad.
Yeah,
But turns out he is like incredibly selfless, and he just decides that he doesn't want to kill people to do it.
It's almost like a source
And
of pride for
he
him
proves
that
them wrong incredibly well.
to not pick up a gun is a source of pride for him. Almost like it's a
Yeah.
Mhm.
And again, they all like by the end of it all, they all like respect the hell out of him for doing this, and it's a really good show of that. Because again, from their perspective, if you're a soldier and you're literally in a war situation where you know that the Japanese are ruthless and will do anything in their power to kill you and
Mhm.
and yours, you kind of look at the guy who says, "I don't want to pick up a gun because I don't want to kill anyone." You're like, "Why the fuck are you in the army then?"
Yeah,
It's almost
exactly.
like the thing of
It's kind
you're
of
selfish enough to like
disrespectful.
put our lives at risk because you don't have the balls to kill the enemy. And again, he needs
Mhm.
to prove himself, and he does in amazing fashion.
It's almost like there's a
Yes.
lack of respect on his part coming into it that way.
Yeah. So again, it's like it's really good contextualization from Hacksaw Ridge and how they tell that story. So again, I still fundamentally disagree with their point that it's like no, I think I like both. I've watched a lot of virtuous characters and I've watched a lot of like selfish characters. I think they're
It's
both very very
it's
cool
almost like
when done right. Always when done right. It's
it's
always
always
when done right.
it's always seemed like good writing is just good writing. Like that really
Yeah,
is.
good writing.
It's almost like it's a venom for video essayists. It's almost like just because you can move on really quickly if you just say execute in the right way, and then you move on to your next subject. It's like
I do love how
Yeah.
Well, all she's saying is just like, yeah, this thing is bad. There are exceptions. I'm not gonna say what those exceptions are, but there
here's
they
one.
are.
Here's a virtuous character that's really great, and everyone will agree with me. That's great. Like yeah,
look in the
Why
hands of a
why
skilled
why
writer,
don't
they can do this. Okay, what can what is done well when it's not done by a skilled writer though?
uh, that would be really
Like,
hard to think of.
are virtuous characters easier to do if you're not an especially skilled writer?
I think it's the
what if
opposite,
the
I don't
where
know.
where
I
it's
don't
like
know because it's like
if you're if I think it's well actually I think it's both. If you're not a skilled writer, it's easy to do evil guy, and it's easier to do virtuous character because all you have to do is make them be good. That's all it is.
what if you
yeah, you
make a
kind of
very
almost have to
virtuous
make him a paragon.
Yes.
what if you make a very what if you make a very virtuous character and then they end up being very poorly written or stupid? Like fucking Parzival from Ready Player One, he's virtuous, but he's a goddamn idiot.
Yeah, it's like everything she doesn't, every trope or convention she doesn't like, it's like in the hands of a skilled writer can be done well. It's like, does that not apply to the things you do like?
If you want to focus on this part, just realize there's a gap in this stuff where there's not a much virtual characters in an adult world. Like, yeah, you could do that, but it's like it's not this video. It has nothing to do with this video.
Yeah.
It's
I also
not
just
this
don't.
video.
I also just think it's drawing a huge false dichotomy by discussing virtuous versus selfish characters. Virtuous characters can have selfish aspects, and selfish characters can have virtuous aspects, and that's very often what makes them interesting.
I mean, yeah, there's like I think there's a I forgot the name of the story, but there's a story where a character was so dedicated to kind of helping other people that he didn't care about himself. And
Our-
so as a result, he came across as selfish because he didn't care about how other people would feel when he died. He only cared about, helping other people. So his selflessness almost came across as selfish to the people who cared about him because it's like you need to be alive too. It's like and he goes, my life doesn't matter. It's like, how can you do that? We care about you. We want you to live. How can you throw your life away so
well,
easily?
it goes back to the idea that no man is an island unto himself, where the
Yeah.
people that you talk to, you affect them on some level. Anyways,
Are an inspiration to his fellow man and officers, making him someone to admire and look towards. I have referenced this movie a lot in past videos. But
yay!
seeing as how it is one of my favorite movies of all time, I would be remiss
It
if
is a
I
good
didn't
movie.
include the personal values of the characters of Top Gun Maverick. Maverick and Rooster specifically possess a dynamic of
Hey!
I'm just letting this go because I'm not really disagreeing with it. This is just analysis that's basically true. So far, anyway.
oil and water all throughout the movie, both because of their shared history and the family connection that binds them. No matter how angry they are with each other, however, when the chips were down, they would act to save each other no matter what it took. And beyond that,
Well, that goes without saying because they're in the military. Like, and especially if you're in like it's all about you do what you can for the person beside you. Like when you're in combat,
Yeah.
grudges are kind of left at the back door because you'll die. Like, yeah. Hello.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh no! I'll just say you were saying something and it went off. Like, what happened?
No, I was like, yeah. I was like, because there's like a book. I think it was a 40K novel where
Oh.
this guy joins the Imperial Guard, and
Mhm.
he finds a new purpose in the Imperial Guard, and one of the people he meets in the Imperial Guard is a bully, and we have a perspective from him where he's like he expected to almost hate this man or want this man to suffer, but then he realized this man is like barely notices him. He's just another like member of the team, and he's like doing his job just like he is. And he's just like, yeah, what that grudge was stupid. The grudge I have was foolish. Like
Yeah.
he's fighting beside me now and like protecting my back.
Mhm.
I should do the same for him.
I mean, it's like, but I thank you, Roosters. I agree.
I might have to push the talk.
Oh no, it's fine. I don't care that much. But it's like it's kind of you hear the it's like, oh jeez. But like uh but I do agree that the family process is there before while he's in the military, which means it makes a lot more sense since like his father died the first one because of Maverick's poor decisions, and like yeah, that's instant drama. Like it's boom, you know. So it's very
Add water.
yeah, it's one of those things where like yeah, you're it's really good natural drama. You don't really have to force it in there, that much. Anyways, I'm gonna go to this is probably getting longer than I thought it was gonna be, but I will come back because I'm going to the restroom. You guys entertain. Bye.
Entertainment.
So, Vic, do you have any party tricks? Can you like tie a cherry stem around into a knot in your mouth?
No, my best party trick is I can do the black accent. That's it. And apparently I can apparently pass for a Muslim when I have a beard. So yeah, that's my best party trick. And I can make very loud wails of agony that Fraga finds very amusing.
Can you do that
And I have
while
my
doing the
chickens.
black accent?
I don't
while
know
while
that.
looking like a Muslim.
don't know about that. Because I think Froggo, I think, heard me like actually get really angry the first time. I think a couple of days ago when I was getting very angry at the Fallout show, and Froggo was like, "Oh my god," because he's never heard me genuinely angry.
I have to temper my anger at Battle Lord of the Rings takes, and we all know how I feel about Battle Lord of the Rings takes.
Dude, I still remember the Fellowship of the Ring Cinema Wins video you guys told me about, where he said that Legolas probably considered Aragorn like a dog, and I'm like, what the
Oh
fuck is
yeah.
wrong with you?
Okay.
Bro.
What are you chuckleheads talking about?
No, it's about Cinema Wins rancid take on Lord of the Rings Fellowship of the Ring, where he
Oh,
says
yeah.
that Legolas probably considers Aragorn like a dog. And I'm like,
Yes,
what the
I
fuck?
remember that.
So what I'm
Bro.
so confused about, if Legolas is like a dog to Aragorn, then how is he such
no,
close
Aragorn is
friends
like
No,
a
with...
no, no.
dog to
Aragorn is the
Legolas.
dog.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
If Aragorn is like a dog to Legolas, how is Legolas such close friends with Gimli in like less than 6 months?
It's kind of funny. Like, why is he close friends with Aragorn in the first place if he sees him like a dog? Like, so like
Well, he's sticking up for his little buddy. You would do that if your
he's
dog was
sticking up
getting
for his
berated.
dog. It's like, how dare you misgender my dog?
How dare you misname my dog? His name is Aragorn, son of Arathorn, and he is your
And you
king.
and you
And he
owe
eats
him
kibbles and
your
bits.
your allegiance.
He needs his kibbles.
He pulls up like
Era of Gondor, Chief of the Dunedain, King of the
King of the
King
North.
of the
Westfold or something.
Westlands,
I don't know.
Westfold, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Aragorn,
dude.
Ear of Isildur, son of Arathorn, to you.
Yeah, dude.
It says that
makes
all
it
over his
funnier 'cause that
doghouse.
means that he's basic. That makes it funnier because he's telling this to Boromir, so he's just telling Boromir. He's telling another dog that his dog is better.
Yeah. He's like,
don't you make fun of my dog?
you don't have
friend. You are
permission.
not
It's
my
almost like
dog.
Legolas is at the dog park. Excuse me. It's like,
And then he ends up
Seriously,
adopting a
bro.
yeah. Then he
Uh,
ends up adopting a cat.
no, that's Gimli. He's like, I
Yeah,
never
the cat
said
is the
such.
Gimli, that's what I
Gimli's a
mean.
cat.
I never thought I'd died by son by a friend. How about how about Mr. Sprinkles? I can do that.
I can do that.
Anyways,
Aragorn, Chieftain of the Dunedain, heir of Isildur, High King of the Dunedain, King of Arnor, King of Gondor. Do a do a trick.
and he's like he has a doghouse with all those names all over it, and it's like you get the fanciest doghouse. Ruff ruff.
He gets annoyed when somebody simply refers to his dog as Aragorn instead of with the 5
They're-
titles as well as son of
Okay,
Aragorn.
okay.
He's-
They're in
Oh no.
they're in the minds of Moria. You know, it's like the fires are, you know, down by the hall, and then you just see a cat walk through, and they're like, "Oh, a cat!" And then Gandalf goes, "A Balrog." Just vote beyond any of you.
And no.
His
I
speech is
thought
beyond you.
I thought you were gonna say like Aragorn's gonna chase it. It's like ah.
Well, Gimli
Anyway.
can't be a cat because he can totally toss a cat. It will just land on its feet.
Toss a cat. He's like nobody tosses a cat.
No, the Balrog is a raccoon because it has opposable thumbs, meaning it can do so much more.
Impossible thumbs. Anyway, hold on. Okay. Let's get this over with.
Let's continue this.
Most of the other characters in the film have a completely unselfish attitude when in the air. Of course, collaboration between personnel is Navy 101, but at the same time, it's nice to see those attitudes of cooperation and teamwork in real time rather than the selfish stories of those who just want power and recognition. And it's hard to look at all those.
This is something I see. Like, it started reminding me of, like, The Mummy. When at the beginning, Tom Cruise goes into a thing by himself, even though he's on mission. And they're just like, oh, a slap on the wrist. And it's like, what? No! It's like, I miss military competence. Like, I think Star Wars has given this to me too much, and that's why I'm kind of annoyed. Like, really
Like,
hating.
there's a lot of shows I've seen that depicts like military competence.
Oh,
Like, these
Halo!
military organizations so that they punish
Not
you
the
for
show.
like
Halo
doing
the
stupid
show, yeah. And I'm like,
shit.
it's
What?
like a bunch of military people being retarded. I'm like, yeah, that's them.
Okay.
And then there's like the First Order, yeah, they're retarded too. Like, oh man, who else? I don't know. Maybe we give the Brotherhood of Steel a chance. No,
No,
stupid
stop
Fallout TV
reminding me.
show. It's just like, yeah, I totally get what she's talking about. It's like, oh wow, the military is actually doing good things. Like, wow.
Let's continue.
Virtuous characters and not call them what they truly are: inspirational. One of the best qualities of any character in these timeless films is their ability to spark awe and wonder in us. Whether it's the way they protect others, the values that they espouse,
Listen. So far, your footage has been fine, and the music is kind of like eh. It sounds like PowerPoint presentation music. Just fine. Whatever. It's the background. But this visual makes no sense for what you just said.
Where's my Zelda stable music?
Where's my
just
my
listen to
Oblivion
what she
PC?
says, and then Luke is jumping and doing all that stuff in training.
call them what they truly are: inspirational. One of the best qualities of any character in these timeless films is their ability to spark awe and wonder in us. Whether it's the way they protect others,
Not protecting anyone.
the values that they espouse,
we'll talk.
Espouse.
Well, we're just talking about Luke's character
well,
in general.
I know, but still, like
Yeah, we're talking.
you could have gotten a different Luke clip for that.
Well, yeah, we're talking about. Yeah, you're just talking about Luke's character in general.
I know, but I try to look for things that are relevant, and I'm like,
Oh no, Luke.
but
So
Luke doing
to
a
loop
flip,
for things.
protecting.
I mean, yeah, she could have used a better clip, but we still got her point with Luke,
Absolutely.
the
I will
odds that
say
they
it's
are
one of
up
the
against.
better
for Luke.
part. It's one of the better clips because she just looped the same clips at the
She
beginning of the
does,
video.
yeah, she does loop the same clips over and over, yeah.
Their
If
ability
you guys look in the wait, sorry, wrong chat. Hold on. If
Womp
you guys look in the VC text, you'll see how Luke is able to protect all his friends, and that's by mastering the art of T posing.
womp. Well, he's doing a flip. I'm over
No, it's just
Hermes.
That's a new trick.
the pause frame we've had.
Oh no, I'm just saying it's like Bender. It's like, I'm gonna jump, do a flip.
do a flip.
Spark awe and wonder in us. Whether it's the way they protect others, the values that they espouse, the odds that they are up against, or the personal struggles that they have to contend with, these characters are sources of
Now, see, that's a better clip for personal conflicts because it's like, is the dark side stronger? And he's like, you will know. And it's like, wow, that's actually something he needs to consider. We're like, all right, that's good. That's good.
they are up against, or the personal struggles that they have to contend with, these characters are sources of inspiration. And inspiration, unfortunately, is dying. The MCU used to have the market on inspirational characters, particularly in the Avengers, but in the last few years, their collection of inspirational characters has all but dried up, and they have done their best to stomp out or sideline the ones that did have any inspirational qualities to begin with. Every character is out for their own gain at this point, and whatever has been said about the most recent Superman film, I didn't feel as if he was an entirely inspirational figure either. Not just
Oh, wow. That's interesting.
Interesting. That's a take.
Because
Let's hear the rest of it.
is it too much because of James Gunn's interference? I wonder. I don't know.
just because of the fact that he was used as a punching bag his entire movie, but simply because almost no one else in the film seemed to respect him either. The DC universe seems to contain heroes that exist for the purpose of
I mean, I
appealing
don't
to
think
James
that's
Yeah.
I don't think that's completely true. I don't like the Superman movie. I don't, but I wouldn't say every character just ignores how inspirational Superman can be. I mean, Lois's whole arc is to understand that Clark is more than what she seemed, what it seemed to her. and I wouldn't say characters just ignore him or anything like that. I don't believe that at all. In fact, the entire climax hinges on the fact that Clark is able to do all these amazing things for the better of humanity, and his final speech to Lex is all about how how inspirational he looks at himself to be, because he's human. He's human in all the way that matters from his speech.
Well, I think I'm gonna say it's like, but because like people don't take him seriously, I guess. I think it's talking about the Justice League or whatever.
Justice Gang.
Justice Gang. Yeah, it's like, and so it's
Gang
like,
gang.
oh no.
So I haven't seen this movie, but again, I think it's another case of you having to extrapolate a lot more than anything she actually said, because
Yeah.
you can absolutely have an inspirational character who is not recognized for that. You can have a virtuous character, rather, who is not recognized for that within their respective story, and is inspirational for remaining virtuous, despite it being a struggle. I mean, the most obvious example is Guts from Berserk. Obviously, that's like the go-to example of a character
Yeah,
like
most
that.
people recognize him for being an absolute like beast of a character.
I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, he is absolutely a very inspirational character, but not respected as such within his proper world. That's why he's inspirational, because retaining his humanity and retaining any semblance of good is a constant struggle that he gets better at throughout the story,
Yeah.
despite setbacks.
And you see the cost of him keep trying to keep his humanity. You see the physical cost and the scars his body has, and some of the shots in the later, some of like the panels in the later manga volumes where he looks exhausted. He looks so tired
Yeah.
and so like struggling, but he keeps going because it's his way. It's
Yeah,
the
now
way
that
he is.
Byakuya is gone, I'm going to be the one who references Spider-Verse, but it's that idea that was said in Spider-Verse where what makes you a hero is getting back up again when you're knocked down. Like, that's
Yeah.
why Guts is considered such an inspirational character by so many people, and one of the most popular in his medium, just flat out.
Yeah, what's the? It's not a great movie, but it actually has a really good phrase, which is from Alfred in Dark Knight Rises, where he says, why do we fall, Master Bruce, so we can get back up."
Yeah.
Um,
It's
I'm not too fond of this, but I'll
Yeah.
reference JoJo one more time. Jonathan Joestar, does he get that much respect in his by the other characters? Not a huge amount, but he does stay true to his values, and he's able to protect everybody he does care about and staying true to them. I suppose you could say, I think it's just a case of there not being strong enough characters to say, yeah, the good guys. He has very strong camaraderie with the good guys, but Speedwagon is a huge counterexample. He hugely respects Jonathan. That may have been a poor example.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe it! You did that! Yes, I did do that, and now I'll tell you that I did it again. Wow!
Wow!
So, anyways.
Seems to
Jonathan-
contain heroes that
Find you a
exist for
hype
the
man.
purpose
Yes, he's a hype man.
Jonathan also lost his mother, and you're both at the same age. I suspect you will be good friends. Like, what? What? Dialogue, I guess?
Oh, dude. Phantom Blood is a trip. Oh my gosh. Anyways.
but simply because almost no one else in the film seemed to respect him either. The DC universe seems to contain heroes that exist for the purpose of appealing to James Gunn and little else. Snarky and irreverent characters have their place, but when they begin to outpace the inspirational ones, then there's a problem. And I can only
When the snarky
Why is that a
characters
problem?
Yeah. Okay, I guess we'll know.
begin to suspect that it's because Hollywood doesn't really know how to do inspirational characters any longer. It's why films like
No,
Godzilla
they still
Minus
do.
One were so
No, they
Um,
still do.
popular, why K-pop Demon Hunters
gonna go back a little bit. Everybody mentions
mentions
K-pop Demon Hunters. So hold on. So what you said is like I already forgot. Take on it.
I keep getting this over and over again. I ain't breathing. I ain't being alive. Help me! Help me! Help
Hold on,
me.
hold on. Let me redo that.
It's why films like Godzilla Minus One were so popular seemed to respect him either. The DC universe seems to contain heroes that exist for the purpose of appealing to James Gunn and little else. Snarky and irreverent characters have their place, but when they begin to outpace the inspirational ones, then there's a problem. And I can only begin to suspect that it's because Hollywood doesn't really know how to do inspirational characters any longer.
Okay.
You know,
Let's stop
I can
there.
yeah, that's just a fucking ridiculous straw man. I can only suspect that
That's a
Watchmen
broad
was written
sentiment.
because Alan Moore didn't know how to write an inspirational character. That was the basis for Watchmen. Like, obviously not.
I think we're gonna cut off that whole timeline thing, like when it comes to this conversation, because it's. I think what she's talking about is there is some recency bias in this video. It seems like you watch too many things where it's like, man, what happened to virtuous characters? I'm like, yeah, I understand, but like, yeah, there's like a plethora of backlog you can get to, and there is the reason why people aren't going is because those things aren't written well. You have to go back to the well when it comes to this stuff.
Like I'd argue that Lucy from the Fallout show is technically a virtuous character. She's also just retarded. So
Well, that's not written well. There you go.
yeah, it's one of those things where she talks about like virtuous characters, but it's like Lucy's retard. Okay, like I hate to burst your bubble, but Lucy's
Here's the
fucking
thing, though.
retard.
Her being retarded, it's nothing to do with her being written well either. It's like you can have people who are just mentally handicapped,
Yeah,
but
Dunk.
are
Dunk
good
from
characters.
the Seven
Dunk.
Kingdoms.
It's like there's just things. It's like of course there's always like Oscar bait, which virtuous characters, but they're mentally handicapped. Like, yeah, I know, but it's like, I don't know. It just seems like, yeah, whatever. I get the
So,
whole
like-
idea of DC having virtuous characters that people look up to. I'm like, yeah, that's the principle behind DC. But, and I do agree, James Gunn wants to write James Gunn characters, and that does infect the film. But like, again, you're not doing the legwork. Like,
It's why films like Godzilla Minus One were so popular, why K-pop Demon Hunters topped music charts and created a frenzy of fans. James Gunn has gone so
why did it create a frenzy of fan? Because they're virtuous?
Well,
Or the-
didn't the
the big
Superman movie
cool.
create a frenzy of fans? Superman
really, no.
fans are vocal.
Well, they got James Gunn fans. It didn't.
Yeah.
Wait,
It didn't create. Zack Snyder fans didn't go for it, obviously.
wanna
Superman
hear-
fans didn't like it that much. So,
I want to hear this whole thing.
sorry. I will go back a little bit.
were so popular, why K-pop Demon Hunters topped music charts and created a frenzy of fans. James Gunn has gone so far as to say that he could not crack the character of Superman until the element that was crypto was brought in. If that doesn't tell you enough about Hollywood's inability to create
Well, hold on.
inspirational characters, I don't know what will. Inspirational characters have
I
longevity
think that's more
and are
James Gunn than Hollywood.
Yeah, that's James
James Gunn
Gunn
is
being a
very-
liar. It's like,
Yeah, James Gunn has always been very fond of misfit characters. It's
Oh,
very
yeah.
much his thing. He loves his misfits. He loves his kind of charming, like rogues who are actually also very, very good people. It's like he
yeah.
loves doing that. It's
and-
kind of
and
his like best thing.
I don't
When
think
he does it, he often does it well.
I don't think he should be doing Superman. Like that was like a huge red flag when the movie was announced. It's James Gunn's Superman. It's like, you know who Superman is, James Gunn? And he says, "Yeah, I understand who he is," and then no, he didn't.
So, like, here's what her points
Mhm.
actually like show me more than what she's saying is that she's right that Godzilla -1 was very successful. She's right that K-pop Demon Hunters was very successful. But like
Yeah.
it's not like they're it's not like there's no competition in it's not like there's not similarly quality movies that were released within the past few years. It's just that the market for this isn't. It's
Mm.
just that there aren't that many virtuous characters in the market right now. Like that is why I agree with this. This is just a type of story that should exist, and not necessarily a better story.
I half agree
So
with
like, yeah,
that.
of course you're
Yeah.
going to have more fans, but more fans is a terrible point. You can make that point about some of the worst
Stuff ever.
products if you wanted to. Yeah.
Oh, I understand. I half agree with the sort of like but of course like I said, there's a gap in the market. Someone's going to fill that up, and then they're going to get popular by the very notion of just because it hasn't been that way for a while. Um it's kind of like I think Jim Sterling said about Octopath Traveler. He said one of the reasons why it became so popular is because there was a gap on the market for good JRPGs. And I'm like, okay, that could be a thing, but I agree with the sentiment.
When did Octopath Traveler come out again?
What?
When did Octopath come out again?
I forget. You're very low. I don't know.
remember,
You're drifting away.
Oh, sorry. I remember around that time.
Is anyone else hearing
Nope,
that?
I think
still
around that
drifting.
time
Yep.
October came out. I think Persona was out. SMT5 were out as well.
It might have been the pixelization sort of JRPG, like the standard, like the old Final Fantasy games, sort of thing. I think that's what he was alluding to. I don't remember it bit by bit, but I agreed with the sentiment. Is that if there's a gap in the market and you fill that up with something, it's going to be popular. Like it most likely is going to be popular. I should say.
But like, are you gonna say solo leveling, Frenzy of fans? Like that's, it's ultimately not the best point.
Yeah.
Create inspirational characters, I don't know what will. Inspirational characters have longevity and are still being referenced decades after their movies have been released. Their words are quoted constantly, their stories are rewatched,
Sorry,
and their
can you please
profit
pause
margins
this?
Yeah.
Again, the idiom brevity is the soul of wit comes from the least moral character in Hamlet. To be or not to be. Even in the example she gave, the villain quotes are some of the most quoted. Smeagol lied, wondering to rule them all. I am your father.
Yeah, Darth Vader.
Sorry, I'm trying to remember the exact quote, the Jack Sparrow one. The only rules that really matter are these: what a man can do and what a man can't do. Like, where's the idea that virtuous characters are more quotable and more memorable coming from, and that they exist more in the cultural, the cultural consensus?
Mhm.
No,
My
she'll
favorite
top
quote
this.
from Pirates of the Caribbean from Davy Jones: "Life is cruel. Why should the afterlife be any different?"
No, she'll top this statement with of course with the exceptions.
Yeah, with some exceptions. Like, there's the occasional quote. There's you got your "I am your fathers," you got your "I am the one who knocks," you got your double double toil and trouble. Those occasional exceptions. They're minor though.
It's kind of funny when it's like there's a lot of quotes that do come from virtuous characters that are popular, but like the reason why these quotes get around is because they're either because they're popular movies or they're from iconic characters that become that way. So it's like, yeah, and that could be anybody, not just virtuous ones. But if she's getting to the point where virtuous characters last longer than unvirtuous one, I hate to say it, but like Superman doesn't last as long as Darth Vader has.
No.
Like, it's one of those things.
Actually,
People still want to use Darth Vader in order to sell Star Wars. Well, I guess what you mean by as like Superman's from its inception, yeah, it has lasted longer. But in today's cultural zeitgeist, Darth Vader's more recognized than Superman, I think.
But again, like, the idiom brevity is a soul of wit. You might not even know where it's from. It's from the most immoral character in Hamlet. The only moral character in Hamlet commits suicide because she's unable to do anything throughout the play and is unable to take almost any action.
You know what? Let blood
And also she went
rain from
completely
the
fucking mad.
sky. Dungeons and
Okay,
Dragons,
very
people.
D&D character.
Yeah. And that's not. He's not a virtuous character. It's when I think of Street Fighter and like that guy's like when I raided your village, it was the worst day of your life. But for me, it was Tuesday. Freaking awesome! Like,
You know, I always think of quotes from virtuous characters such as, "I'm going to make you an offer that you can't refuse," and "Here's Johnny."
or well, there is one like I can do this all day. Okay, that's one.
I mean, I guess I can agree that some of my favorite quotes from the example she gave comes from virtuous characters. I shared the Faramir quote. There's "I am a Jedi like my father before me," probably the best one in the original trilogy, and of course you have plenty of Yoda quotes. But if we're going to just
Do or
say
do
they're
not. There is
quoted,
no try. Yeah.
if we're going to say they're just remembered and they're quoted to this day, you're not topping "I am your father." That's not happening. It's the most famous movie quote. You are not topping "To Be or Not to Be" with the, like,
That is the question.
one ring to rule them all. That's the
That's-
tagline to sell the fucking movie at this point.
Yeah, and that's said by Galadriel, but it's carved into it with Sauron. You know.
It's carved into it in the black tongue of Mordor.
Yeah. Anyway.
My favorite Saruman quote: "The hobbits, the halflings weed has addled your senses."
That's addled your mind. Yeah.
You gotta stop smoking that shit.
One of the best virtuous characters. I was once Chinese.
Years ago, I was once Chinese.
Or the most virtuous character, yada yada.
My favorite virtuous character. They did the wang dang tang. That episode like permanently restructured my brain. I hate it.
Anyways, let's
Man, I loved when Gus Fring said, "I will hug your wife. I will hug your son. I will hug your infant daughter."
What?
I love being alive.
It's a very famous. It's a very famous quote. "I will kill your wife. I will kill your son. I will kill your infant daughter."
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
very
Gus when he's
famous.
like incredibly pissed that it's so good.
I remember, like, it's kind of funny
Terrifying.
because there are protagonists, or I should say heroes, that aren't virtuous. Like Peter Venkman. He is not a good person, but he'll still do the right thing. Like, because it's in his selfish interest. Like, that's the thing. It's... Oh, man. Usually don't see that from an appliance. What was the other one? Like it's like a
Mayor, this man is saying he has a small penis.
Oh no, it's like it's yes, it is true. This man has no dick.
I will say, I do find the line. It is being a bit of a prick if she's solely discussing movies, but I do find the line, "Inspirational characters have longevity and are still being referenced decades after their movie released," a bit funny when you also have things that existed centuries before movies still being referenced that are not virtuous characters.
Oh yeah. You mentioned that, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you absolutely have like your Crime and Punishments, but
To Kill a
Like,
Mockingbird. Oh,
you have your tragedies.
actually, To Kill a Mockingbird is about a virtuous character. So,
Oh, it absolutely is, 100%, yes.
yeah. And what about 12 Angry Men? It's like one of those things. It's like, man,
Oh, dude, I love 12 Angry Men.
it's
Yeah.
there's
Yeah, I adore that
the
movie.
virtuous
There are some...
character in there expands. Like, you see, you can do the
You
opposite
don't mean
too.
you'll really kill me, do you?
It's like, it's like, where do you get off? And like, the man's life lands in the balance. And like,
Yeah, like, obviously nobody is going to deny, like, the longevity of plenty of
mhm.
inspirational and virtuous characters, or of their quotes, or anything else, but I just do not understand the framing that is more so than characters who aren't virtuous.
I will say Superman is a long-running virtuous character, but like, that's because like he's written by different people who understand the spirit of that character.
But, like, what is the most
And
famous
James Gunn.
quote to come from fiction? Like, I might be biased because I like to play. To me, I think it's to be or not to be. But, like, what is the most famous quote ever, and is it from a virtuous character?
I don't know if we'll be able to figure that out.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's
That is
hard.
fair.
We can
There's so
ask
many
we
good
can
ones.
ask AI. I mean,
No.
That is fair. But, like, all the most... Like, the absolute most famous quotes I could think of, they often come from characters who aren't virtuous. And that's not to say they're better or worse. A movie or show isn't necessarily better for being quotable.
can't believe you committed
Like,
suicide. I can't believe it.
What
Virtuous.
killed the dinosaurs?
The Ice Age.
I got way too bogged down into the claim of whether or not virtuous characters are more quotable, that
Yes, you did.
I kind of just conceded the point that more quotable equals better, which even then, that's not the case. It doesn't even necessarily mean
Yeah, it's like
more memorable. You can have some very dense dialogue from some very strong characters without
like I said,
any...
it's like Birdemic is quotable. Like it's not a good movie.
Birdemic is quotable.
It is.
You know who
2026.
Yeah.
you know who is the real virtuous character? Tommy Wiseau from The Room.
Oh, that's true.
Well, he is,
I mean,
he
he is a
is.
virtuous character. He has zero flaws.
Yeah. And he had sex with Lisa on the stairs.
Hello, doggy.
You know, I changed my mind. Virtuous characters are the more quotable ones. Every single day I think about Tommy Wiseau in the middle of conversation going, so, how's your sex life?
Anyways, I want to finish this. I want to be let free.
Yes, please.
Are astronomical. People are starving for characters that are authentic, real, and aspirational. We need heroes and figures that we can look up to again, reach out towards, and strive to be like. And until Hollywood understands this, until they realize that we don't want their twisted form of virtue masquerading as hedonism, they will continue to lose profits, fans, and relevancy altogether. They're dangerously close to it as it is, and what movies like K-pop Demon Hunters and Godzilla -1 have shown us...
Stop referencing that movie.
Hollywood
Stop referencing K-pop Demon Hunters.
Why, Froggo? Why would you say that?
It's really not the best story to go to when you want to look at virtuous characters, right?
Oh, really?
Give virtuous, inspirational figures to us anymore, then we will go elsewhere to someone who can.
That's actually true, but you know what? I don't care anymore. It's over. Oh my gosh, look at that. Going to intermission.
We did it.
There you go.
That video kind of fell apart at the second half.
Yeah, it kind of did. It was just about plot summaries instead.
Second half, not gonna lie.
Oh my fucking god, I checked her channel. She has a video called When Characters Are Created, Criticize. That's what a satire is! A satire is criticism.
Oh, no, she's talking about,
fans?
I understand that the example she's using is Rey. That's...
Hey.
Oh.
The thumbnail is Rey and Luke Skywalker. I understand that.
Okay,
But you can
was
absolutely
thinking
have
about
a
different
strong
video
character
then.
made to criticize. I
there's
guess I'm just
yeah.
assuming that it's negative when it might
Wait,
not
what's
be,
the title of the video?
it's what characters are created to criticize, and the thumbnail is Rey on one side and old Luke from Last Jedi on the other. Which maybe I'm being
Created
unfair by
to
immediately
criticize?
created to
Oh,
criticize, yes.
I get it.
I don't think she was though. She's
No,
she's
no,
just
no.
poorly written.
I think it's just the. I think it's talking about Last Jedi as a whole film.
I suppose I should absolutely 100% watch the video, but if it is negative in tone, then
I don't
I
know.
am going to have similar problems where it's like, but what about good satire?
Hot shot to satire, but it's not like about the public. That's the
I-
thing, though.
my
Anyways,
guess
no,
is
no, no,
that-
no. We're not going anywhere. No, stop it.
Yeah, I'm being
Stop.
unfair by
Okay.
immediately
I'm
assuming that it's
chilling.
necessarily negative.
You
But like,
there, down there. It's like, what day is it?
You
It's
violated the
Christmas Day. Wow. Anyways.
Wow.
So yeah,
That's a funny story, Mark.
does anyone have anything going on that they're worth announcing?
No,
No?
nothing much.
Okay. I am because but I want to give everyone else a chance. Oh yeah, Froggo so Iron Lung. Go watch his review of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard it's actually recommended by some popular people. So I'm like, all right.
Yeah, it wasn't Shelby Oaks.
Yeah,
Yay.
It wasn't Shelby Oaks.
dude,
Yay.
it's so much better than Shelby Oaks. Chris should be embarrassed. Like,
I feel like Chris should be embarrassed regardless of what
True.
another YouTuber releases.
Oh, definitely.
then again, I don't know if you can ever be embarrassed when you are like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna sponsor 3 things that are just get out of my face. Security suite. Anyways,
Help, man.
and like, I don't know, for like, I know I'm gonna send him to a psychiatry place, that's not recommended by anybody. That has like, you know, sells your data to other people. Like, oh wow. And then after that, you can get your money back by this gambling app. If you don't have enough money, don't worry. There's this loan shark app. Like, it's like, wow, Chris, you're an awful person. Like, your integrity has been bought by the Hollywood system.
Well, no, I'm not even sure because that's not Hollywood system. That's just his own integrity bought by fucking.
Oh, yeah, that's the thing. He got in, and then he changed his tune real quick, and I'm like, wow, you're just. I think it's was his plan all along. This sort of had that idea of like to be popular. There's a quote of him is like, they'll say first YouTuber to have his movie in the theaters. Like, yeah, how's that infamy going? Like, you know what Markiplier's story is going to be? The successful YouTube movie that got into theaters.
Well, a YouTube movie that was so successful that Hollywood took it off the listing.
Oh yeah, yeah, they did do that. Iron Lung is incredibly successful, but with a $3 million production budget, yeah, it's going to be successful. Anyways,
I
yeah.
I would like to say goodbye because I have to make dinner. So see you
Okay.
guys.
See ya.
Bye, Froggo.
And see you, audience. This was an interesting video to get through.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I hope the next video is better.
It won't.
What do you mean? That was so fun on this video.
I'll pick a good one. It's about something else.
Nah, this
Yeah.
video was a 10 out of 10. I love the explanation of Gollum's character. That was definitely my favorite part.
Bye, Froggo.
You know, if it wasn't for this video, we would have never learned about the virtue of that garage door.
Virtuous character. I didn't
You
put
know,
that in
I
the
did love
thumbnail.
I did love the assertion that virtuous characters have more longevity and are quoted more often than unvirtuous characters.
All right. See you guys.
See ya.
See ya,
See you,
Froggo.
Froggo.
I was well, I'm still on my so I've learned a lot from this video, believe it or not. It's that my videos is probably going to be better. So it's going to be it's going to be neat where I actually have a like nah, I'm not going to be that. Nah, I mean already I was reading it on Monday. And then I was like, wow, that's actually not that bad. Like, because I haven't seen it in a long time, you know, so I could have it fresh. Like, wow, it's actually pretty good. Like,
You don't want to be.
so I'm like, all right, I think I've proven my point as long as I have the visuals. So it's like, all right, we're going with this. So that video is still in production. It's I just need some people to give their voices to it. So, anywho, I'll pop you off now. Go away now.
Bye.
I see ya.